All right.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Wow.
Wowzers.
Man. Jesus.
Goodness gracious.
Been a long time. Been a long time. Been a long.
It has. It has. Welcome, everyone. Turtle Soup Podcast live
Turtle
stream.
Soup.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
On this bitch.
And yeah, thanks for being here. Jake Niehaus, just in time. Pizza out of the oven and soup on my screen. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man.
John Clemens, Turk down for what? Ryan and twins.
And twins.
John Clemens with the pizza has been ordered. I'd still go get it, but I'm still woozy from a dental operation earlier. Ooh.
And he says it's been a hot minute. It has. Our last episode was recorded old school.
It was.
Recorded, not live. And then we had some time after that. So we're back, though, with all the stuff. Fuchsia, tongue out.
So I just saw that on the YouTube thing. You see that it's an actual like little gator face.
Oh, that's
but in the chat on our screen,
that is so stupid that it just spells it out.
It's so dumb that it says it. Yeah,
it makes it look like a comment.
Right. Okay. Jake just put
and
one.
Here's
in.
all these weird ones. Person turquoise waving. Oh my god, dude, this is amazing. We're gonna keep getting all these.
Oh yeah, this is excellent.
Oh my god, goat, tortoise, white horns.
Goat, tortoise, white horns.
Oh. Stop giving. Hand orange covering eyes, cat orange whistling. Oh my god, this is the best. Like honestly, like we're gonna talk about whatever.
Yeah,
people are just gonna be putting these emojis in chat and seeing what they come up as.
Exactly.
That's their entertainment for their pregame show.
Please keep doing this. Thank you, Shannon, for starting that.
Orange cat whistling.
Oh, it sounds like beat poetry. It sounds like some like weird thing that you'd see like at a coffee shop.
Oh,
people
man.
saying all this stuff.
No, this is really bad. I keep thinking like this is so offensive, but like these are my Native American names.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like,
yeah.
Especially when it's the action. Green text game over, face blue white eyes. How did you know my name, my birth name? Face purple, smiling things. Oh God, just every band name is just coming out of this chat now.
I love this so much.
This is pretty great. I mean, you guys are entertaining us at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we don't need any, Oh, the hearts come through.
Yeah,
that's
weird. Yeah.
Huh. They're different colors though.
I wonder if it's because I haven't updated. Oh, there's a pumpkin. Okay, we got the pumpkin.
Face purple smiling things.
But
yeah,
see,
that is appropriate.
The pumpkin that I'm seeing on the stream is different than the one that I'm seeing in the chat. It's slightly different.
Yeah, they're different. They're different, but they are there. So I guess that must be part of the accepted codec of what we're doing here. Oh, Mitch wants to know what's on the docket tonight. Tonight is episode 8 of Ninja Turtles: The Next Mutation. Silver and gold. We need a new suited character. Both in a monster suit and a gangsta suit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
So we have that going on tonight. So we're reviewing that. We are. I checked like pretty recently. We didn't really have any emails, so we're gonna just roll straight into that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the story.
Next week we'll probably talk about the new trailer for Shredder's Revenge. That came out and that Jake peeped us on in the Facebook group, and yes, Cuddly appears, but that's all I'm gonna say. So, but I didn't have time to get all that together tonight for a news segment. But
so this is actually a good opportunity to ask some of you guys that I haven't even. So I'm going to eyes purple crying after I mess with my face red droopy eyes. Wow. This is a good question. This is a good time to poll you guys when you have a second.
Right.
About what we're gonna do about the Seth Rogen TMNT movie. So it premieres August 2nd,
which is like a Wednesday,
I believe, which is a Wednesday.
Yeah,
very awkward time for me and your boy Eric to like get together. Now, traditionally, me and your boy Eric, maybe even a Father Preston, go see this movie, and then we do the thing.
Yeah,
we do the thing we do. would you guys be more amenable to us going to see the movie, right?
With y'all.
With
like we do the whole thing and we just stream it. Yeah.
We go and see the movie the day it comes out.
Yeah.
So that like that Thursday we can do our thing. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Like right on the bat. Or would you be more comfortable with option B, which is we see it on the weekend and come back the next week with our thoughts, given more people time to see the movie? We would definitely do our pregame, our thing in a post game, and there would definitely be, or in some other format, or maybe its own video, where there'd be a definite like spoiler opt-in, opt-out. Like we wouldn't just start talking during like the main like prime podcast. Like, what you been up to? I don't know. Just hanging out with my cat. By the way, spoilers for the new TMNT. Like we wouldn't do that. But yeah, earlier, later, like what's the story? What you feeling? What you guys feeling?
I mean, there is the argument that you have the option to press pause, but still, I understand the sentiment. I get it.
We would probably gloom it onto on audio for the podcast like we did before, like after the credits or after our post game thing.
Yeah,
on the audio podcast, but the video, like it's a different thing. So let's see. John Clemens says, "Feel like waiting gives people more time." Also, y'all can get content on YouTube than whenever it's looking up Mute Mayhem. That we did talk about that.
Yeah, that
was part of the early game part of it. And I appreciate the answers and how you guys are feeling about it, because while that may not affect when we go see the movie, depending on what we decide to do, it may definitely affect when it gets talked about on Turtle Soup, for example, or when it there's timing of that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I appreciate all that.
But I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. Finally. Like,
it's gonna be I mean, it's been a long time.
Been a while.
You want to hear some shit I learned today about World War II that I just did not know, that I feel like I should have known, but just did not know.
I thought you knew everything about World War II.
And it's the most bullet bill shit you're ever going to hear about World War II. Are you ready?
I am.
All right. So back in 1944, right? So the Allies make their controversial red carpet appearance in Normandy. You know what I'm saying? A lot of haters out there that day.
Yeah.
So we roll up on the red carpet, and German doesn't like that, right? Germany's like, boo, boo, you suck. So they're like, as a response to that, we're going to start launching new weapons into London called the Vengeance weapons. And the first Vengeance weapon was the V1, the flying bomb. Have you ever seen this thing?
No.
It's a bomb with wings and an upper tail with a jet engine on it. They launched this thing. Yes, they launched this thing from France. It flew over the English Channel, completely pilotless, powered by gyros and shit, and landed in London, like with no operators. So they start shooting this thing off, right?
Oh, okay.
The first ones that come into England's just not ass ready. Number one, they have it's actually the first cruise missile, John, actually. But anyway,
it's a shitty airplane with an early jet.
Because it was called a pulse engine.
Yeah.
So it was basically like a bunch of little explosions. So everyone thought when they first saw it, they thought it was on fire. It was like pop, 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 pop. It's like this like fire shit, but no, that was just the engine. I don't know why I'm talking, like I feel like I have to defend it against John. I don't know.
Right.
John and
I just love how salty that came off, like just him just being like shitty airplane.
So yeah. So well, thanks for spoiling it, John. That was the most bullet bill shit.
I haven't read it. I haven't read
Don't read it. Don't read the comment.
Okay.
Don't read the comment.
I'm averting my eyes.
So it's flying over London. The poor aerial defense guns, the land guns, can't do anything about it. They're literally like the turrets can't traverse fast enough because the thing's going like 400 miles an hour, and they just don't understand how fast that is.
Right.
Also, jets or their prop plane, the Spitfire, can't go as fast as it does. Also, if you try to shoot it and you're successful at close range, which you kind of need to be to shoot it down, it'll explode in your face and kill you. So they can't get that close to it when they're shooting at it, right?
Yeah.
Now, I knew all this about the V1, right? Being a rocket boy, I've always been more into the V2. which was the rocket version of that, which was built by the same guy that put us on the moon in the 60s.
I've always been more into the Rocketeer. That was my rocket entry.
So, well, this is some Rocketeer shit.
Oh, okay.
So I knew all that about the V2, about the V1, and then I figured that they just moved on to the V2 and it was fine. But the part I didn't know was this Royal Air Force pilot is trying to shoot it down. And he already shot one down before. They came out with this new engine for the Spitfire and made it fast enough to get after it. But it was still hard to shoot. You had to be far away, whatever. He shot one down earlier. He's almost out of ammo, but he sees another one. He's like, oh, shit. And he goes up to it, uses his last handful of bullets, doesn't get it. He's like, oh.
Yeah.
So he flies up beside it. This is the bullet bill part. He flies up beside it, and he's kind of like, man, like, maybe I can, like look at this thing and get some intel on it. You know what I mean? Because, like I can read what's all written on it, or I can figure it out. Well, it's all in German, so we can't read it. But so that's sad. You know what I mean? But he notices that the flaps, the elevators are constantly moving. And he's like, oh, that's run by a gyro. And he was like an engineer, so he knew how gyros worked. And he's like, oh, maybe if I can tip this thing around, it'll kill the gyro and it'll crash, right? So he puts his wing under it, and like his wing under its wing, and like lifts up.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes a little bit, and then it's like, oh, I'm good. And like he's flying toward London. He's like, shit. So he gets under there again and flips it harder.
Right.
And it makes it spiral and crash.
Oh.
Right. So after that, a bunch of other Royal Air Force pilots, that's how they took those things down.
Just
was flying next
physics.
to him with physics, getting their wing under the other wing and flipping it over and making it crash into like the English Channel and stuff.
And that's where we got the term flipping them off, right?
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Right. It all comes together. Jeez.
Yeah. So I don't know why. It's just, I knew about the V1.
Yeah.
I knew that when it happened, it was like, oh shit, like in England. But I did not know about the tipping part.
That's interesting.
That was pretty great.
Yeah.
And then the video I was watching was like, oh, but after locations were captured and the V1 stopped flying, the next vengeance weapon came out and it had a picture of the V2 and then the video ended. I was like,
yeah.
Well, more about V2. The V2 was Werner von Braun's first rocket.
Yeah.
And that was the one, I think I told the story on the podcast before. That was the one where like it kept flying wrong and crashing and he couldn't figure out why.
Yeah.
So he was like, well, better have it shot at me and use binoculars to look at it and see what's going wrong, because that's the only way you can get the angle on it, the right angle to see. So he went out into the fucking woods and was like, shoot this at me.
Jeez.
And he had binoculars and like one scared Nazi standing next to him, and he was like looking like through these binoculars like, oh, it's bent, that's why. Oh shit. And they get behind this tree and it hits the ground, like explodes, like right near them. And he's like, got it, got to reinforce the frame because it's bending when it takes off. That's what it is.
I mean, that's innovation, I guess.
Yep. Same guy who built the Saturn V. Let's go.
Man. Well, that's fascinating.
Yeah. I just kept getting this image of like flying next to that thing.
Yeah.
It's just like cruising and you're like, let me flip that bitch over.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Just remember like Bullet Bill. Like I imagined like when it flips, like it has little eyes. Googly eyes, and when you flip it, like Bullet Bill, when you flip it, like they go X, and like it goes into the cutest thing ever.
Yeah, that's too good.
John Clemens, I didn't even Google it, Ryan. I guess you knew about the flipping. You knew about the flipping. I didn't know about the flipping part.
They call it
fascinated by that.
Apparently, they call it tipping where John's from. In America's Hat, if I'm not mistaken. So,
well, I mean, you always tip your hat, so I mean, you know what I mean.
There you go.
So he's probably very, very familiar with it.
Silver spoons, right here.
Oh, John Clemens. Speaking of tips, are y'all up in Canada? Are y'all like England, or Europe, where like you don't tip, but people get paid more, or do you still have to like, just the tip in Canada?
Just
the tip,
like
servers, something like that.
Oh goodness gracious.
Oh, okay. More like the States. They tip here. Okay, that makes sense. You could get a Florida posting, John. It would be Sandwich Con.
Goodness
That'd
gracious.
be madness.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys also pay servers like trash. Okay, sounds good. Good to know. Good to know that America's Hat, some of our sweat got on America's Hat, and they act like we do.
Oh, goodness.
Well, honestly, I could see that being actually a huge problem, like in Canada. Like when all this shit got started.
Yeah.
I say being a big problem because you're like, well, we're not like American. Like we got some like we got some more class than that. You know what I'm saying?
A little bit.
Old French Canadians over here. But
of course,
all these people from the U.S. always come up and hang out. And if they do stuff in the U.S. like they tip people, then we can just do the same thing here. Because like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because it'd be weird if we didn't do it that way.
Yeah.
I guess it's worse than the other way around, but still.
I'll never forget like going with my wife to we went to Niagara Falls and seeing the difference in the city surrounding Niagara on the New York side, and then across the water,
and then surrounding Horseshoe Falls in Canada.
Yeah.
You got to change your nomenclature,
right?
When you cross the border,
of course. We couldn't, so we didn't have to because we didn't have the papers.
Oh,
so but you.
Look, you could see Canada from where you were at, and you're like, oh, it's really nice over there,
dude. Yeah, no. This is what every American should go and see the disparity between the two, because like the town of Niagara, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's the town of Niagara. Yeah. It's desolate. It's like you think that it's damn near post-apocalyptic almost. Like there's
Centralia business going on over there.
Just like the bare minimum to keep up the illusion that there is civilization here. There's but it feels like that for real, because like there's a casino that's just booming. Like everything's just like going with the casino. Okay. Nothing else in the town is open, and if it is, it's like not necessarily seedy, but it's like dark and kind of dingy, and there's a lot of vacant spaces, and you got to walk to where you get to the actual park area, and the park area is beautiful. It's manicured.
Okay, so the surrounding area is a little depressed.
It's a little depressed, but the actual park is decent. It's very good. However, you get to the water's edge, and you see across the
you went down to the water's edge, bro?
I went down to the water's edge. I saw something there.
Did you do it?
I didn't do it.
Okay.
So
but did you like see who did?
I did, but I ain't telling. I ain't no snitch. So yeah, but
well, one last question.
Yeah.
Is it a fucking game?
Oh, I mean it depends on what side of Niagara you're on. That's how you know.
Oh, because sometimes you know, I expect you to be like, this ain't no fucking game. I expect you to say that, but like,
right.
I don't know to you if it was. All right, that's cool.
But
yeah, going down the water isn't a great thing. But
it's not, because once you get there, you're like, oh, cool. This is like a national thing. You've heard about this your entire life, theoretically, or probably. And you see it and you're like, this is cool. Then you just like gaze up a little bit more and you see there's a giant ass Ferris wheel
nice.
that's just going, and all kinds of just really cool buildings and like all this like life happening there. And you're like, oh, I can't actually get into that because I don't have papers to get in there. And it kind of like kind of messes with you a little bit, makes you realize,
brings you down a little bit.
It brings you down and kind of, it's a reality check a little bit, to where you're like, oh, it checks your privilege, if you will. And
okay,
just a little bit, just enough to where you're like, oh, this is what a lot of other people probably feel like about certain things. And
so John's saying that the rent here is as bad as like San Fran. It's getting bad. I mean, rent everywhere is awful. It's awful here, but I mean, I don't know if I would say it would be cool if your Canadian dollars were worth more than ours, but that hasn't been the case in some time. So you could be poorer here.
Yeah.
America. So Jake says, sadly, I hear that some places outside of Orlando by Disney World are like that movie, The Florida Project. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Orlando.
Yeah, there's some
interesting.
Orlando's really weird.
There are a lot of like very beautiful, like nice areas that are like just, I don't know, like they don't look like you're gonna die in them necessarily, or at least in a way that's like on the streets.
It's the haves or have-nots. Like,
but there
Orlando,
is a lot of weirdness.
So you know how like anywhere you live, you know how like close to a college, it's like that, right? Close to colleges, you typically have like hard poverty next to college kids, next to affluent people. It's all kind of, every side of the coin. Orlando's like Disney's like a gigantic college where some people are making a lot of money, people that make a lot of money live there, and then there are people that like service it that don't make like any money, right? And it's really bad.
But the cool thing about Orlando is that there's a ton of diversity. Like you're going to see people from all over the world there, and mostly because they're going to Disney World. But it's neat to like get a little bit of experience of that, like hearing different languages and stuff while you're walking around.
Sometimes you gotta tell the French to wear deodorant. That happens.
Yeah.
But I mean, besides that, John Clemens says that the Canadian side of Niagara ain't that hot either. That's interesting. I guess you saw the best part of it.
I mean,
yeah, that's downtown St. Louis. Yeah, it's from Jake. Yeah. No, it ain't great. But yeah, like it's John, let's see. I thought I mentioned this to you guys. Free chance I can get an Air Force trip to Florida for months, year to train. Oh yeah,
that's legit.
Exciting. I mean, like, first of all, America. Second of all, yeah, Sandwich Con is definitely a thing. And maybe John, if you come down here and we get Father Preston and Farmer Greg, we'd have 5 of us, like a Power Ranger situation, where we could activate our Zords and go fight Brooklyn Bridge and make them normal again.
Oh, so dude, that'd be amazing! Oh my goodness, I still haven't been back.
But it needs the 5 of us.
You have to.
Hey, have you haven't been back?
Not since we had that weird encounter where
Brooklyn Bridge apocalypse.
Yeah, where they were like quitting while we were there. Like they were coming up saying they were quitting.
Our favorite sandwich spot, like the spot that we would go eat and like then to go do the show for years. Changed ownership, and like our last meal there was super depressing because the woman that's worked there dead ass since we started going there.
Yeah.
Like was literally like, I quit today. And we're like, that's
just okay.
And she's like, yeah, people back there don't know how to make the food. I'm like, that's not great. We waited like 45 minutes for our shit, and it was like somewhat wrong. And we're like,
yeah,
oh no. And she's like, this place is going to hell in a handbasket. I'm quitting. And I'm like, holy shit. And we left.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Is it one of those things where like you don't have the heart to go back? Because if it's worse than that, like it would like hurt your heart, or you just like.
It's more about time. Like I just haven't had the time and opportunity to. So yeah, it's mildly inconvenient because they're usually so busy. So unless we're gonna like go and sit and be there, it's a whole thing. But and also it's weird because it's kind of like going someplace that used to know you, but you don't know if they still know you.
Damn.
And you don't want that like gut, like, because I'm used to going in there and then being like, yelling my order out.
You had your own custom shit. Like, like this dude, like just so y'all know, turkey Philly extra mushrooms, that's not on the menu. The turkey Philly is not on the menu. Your boy rolls up in there
and it's shredded
and
turkey.
Push that turkey Philly, and the shredded turkey they make like literally for him. And he'd roll in and be like, they'd be like, oh, turkey, turkey Philly with mushrooms, like straight up.
Yep.
And they'd be like, oh, large club, no veggies. Like for me, like as we walked in, they knew our order. So I can see that being an issue.
It was. So yeah. I was about to say, well, speaking of issues, we got some issues to review, but it's actually an episode we get to review.
Yeah, no, it's called an episode of Turtle Suit Prime. Yeah, so it's episode 8, Silver and Gold. And you have like 5 minutes to watch 5 minutes of it. You haven't watched it yet. You'll see some sewer rays, and then you'll watch us, and then yeah, no, it's a
I'm excited.
Episode, so,
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it.
We're gonna get into it.
Yeah. So all right, guys, well, we'll catch you on the Prime side. Oh, greetings.
Greetings. Hello.
Oh, welcome. It's been a minute.
Welcome in.
You're listening, you're watching, you're viewing Turtle Soup, the internet, the world, the universe, the galaxy, this dimension's only podcast dedicated to the ongoing journey of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, all the way from the beginning until Mullet Lips 2, Ryan. Mullet Lips 2.
Oh, 2?
2. Dose. Dose,
Okay.
as they say in Spain. In Spain. That's where they say that.
In Spain.
Yeah. So Mullet Lips 2 is a boat that is in my neighborhood, and my wife, Shannon,
Great name for it.
Oh, it's excellent. Shannon, my wife, she saw a mirror that was just discarded and wanted us to stop and get it. So we did, and turns out that across the way there was a boat called Mullet Lips 2. And
beautiful.
That is also a potential Creeps Anonymous song coming down the pike.
Found it.
So, yeah.
Yep.
And seeing as how we found that, hopefully you found us here on YouTube. And we've been doing this for a bit, and hopefully you enjoy it. And if you do, like, subscribe, comment, tell everybody else about it. And yeah, all that fun stuff. We appreciate that, and it's fun to be here live with all of y'all. So hit us up in the chat with anything we get loud and wrong, definitely let us know. And yeah, we're going to be here for a bit reviewing some stuff we'll talk about in a second. But before we do that, this episode is brought to you by our wonderful patrons, John Klein III and Jean Clemens. So thank you very much. And
turn down for what?
Turn down for what? Well, speaking of turning down, Ryan, what are we turning down for tonight on the journey?
We are turning it up.
Ooh.
Actually, if you had to know, we are covering. We are back. We are still on the Ninja Turtles: The Next Mutation. We are going to be covering episode 8, Silver and Gold, from October 31st of 1997.
1997. Dang.
Yeah, there's a talking ape from the Himalayas. There's it's a heat wave, which I'm living in Florida. I mean, that was very thematic to me. So we're gonna get into all that.
Oh,
for sure.
Of course. Oh yeah. So yeah, it's been a minute, and thank you all for sticking with us, and we appreciate all that. And thank you. Oh, our patrons. Hold on one second. I got something to show our patrons.
Okay.
I forgot about this. It came in the mail today.
Oh, here we go.
So I've been late on getting the last Patreon rewards out. I have them all now. I was just like, it was so close to the end of the next season, I guess is what we're gonna call it.
Yeah.
That I was like, all right, I'll just send you one bigger package with all the next time stuff. And so I made the shirt, and can you see it? Is it? So yeah. So thank you to all of our $20 patrons.
Wow.
You'll be getting this in the mail.
Yes.
And I am very, very happy with that.
Wear it wherever you'd like.
Yes. And
spread the word of the show.
Yes. And so there's that, and that's very exciting. So that'll be going out pretty soon, hopefully. So thank you again for your continued support and patience. And if you were wondering why did last episode that we put out, what was up with that? Well, that was mostly my fault, because actually entirely my fault, because
entirely your fault.
My wife, Shannon, she has got this calendar that apparently was from a British company, and it does the days all weird. It throws them off, like on the different side.
Yeah.
And
like it puts them before the month. I mean, that's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. It's super weird. And so they where I was looking where Thursday would be, and it showed like nothing was going on. But then it turns out that was actually, I don't know, this all sounds confusing, and that's because it is.
Yeah, you thought you were looking at Friday, but it was, or Wednesday, but it was actually Thursday. And
all crossed up. And so we had The Cure. The Cure was playing in Tampa, so we were going to go see them the night that we would be doing the show. And So yeah, so we went ahead and pre-recorded it, and because we, you don't stand up Robert Smith, you don't stand up Bobby
No,
Smith.
and that episode got kind of silly because we realized that when we record an episode without doing it live, it gets a lot weirder.
It does. It totally does.
A lot weirder.
And but it was super fun, and I still like that episode, even though I thought it was going to be the episode we're doing tonight. But I'm still excited that we're doing this episode tonight. I'm just really hyped about it.
Yeah,
but
preview.
Speaking about The Cure, though, this was my first amphitheater show. I guess that's what it's called. Would the Amelie Arena be an amphitheater? It was
no.
Well,
sorry.
It's the first. Is it a? It's not. Is it a stadium?
Amphitheaters are open air.
Oh,
that's a big one. It's a big part of an amphitheater.
That makes sense.
It's typically open air.
I thought it was just because they had amps.
Also, it's built and designed in the way amphitheaters were, which was to funnel the sound of the performance up and through the audience, which was the Romans had amphitheaters and stuff, but they were outside. They're constructed in a certain way. At Amelie is a hockey arena here where the Lightning play.
Yeah,
and they do by taking a third of it off and playing toward the rest of the crowd, make an amphitheater like experience. But that was still a stadium show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was different because we have like the 1-800 Ask Gary amphitheater, and I went to that recently.
Yeah, that's a true amphitheater.
Yeah, and I saw Coheed and Alkaline Trio there, and that was interesting. But the Amelie Arena, that was, I think, my first arena show. I guess we just call it that.
Yeah.
And I wasn't that I was impressed with the visuals from the band, but not the sound so much. And
yeah, that's hard.
Our buddy Steve, who works at the record store that Shannon used to work at, he was on the side stage, so he was looking down in the rafters, like at the stage, and could see it, see all of the members just lined up. Me and Shannon were in front, like on the floor, and he said it sounded great. But I'm thinking,
from his side,
which he was probably hearing a lot of monitors and stuff.
Stage volume. Yeah,
and so we were hearing other stuff. And then I was talking to my brother-in-law Dave, who works with me at the church, and he said you might be spoiled because the church audio is actually pretty good because there's this meme or there's some TikTok videos or something that's gone around where they've talked about how a lot of people who grew up in church that didn't go to shows like we did or just any kind of concert that was very similar to a club setting where the bass is hitting you and you feel it, that they feel that at church and they equate that to a lot of stuff, which is fine and whatever. But when you get it at because when I ended up going to some clubs with Michael McDonald's and some friends of ours back in the day, I was like, oh, this is why a lot of people go to clubs. This is one of the reasons why, to hear loud music and to feel it.
You feel it. You feel physically the music. Yeah.
Right. And so that was interesting. And we did a show at the church not too long ago. There was a band that came through and we set up the rig and all this stuff like that. And I went back. I didn't stay for the show, but I came back to tear it down. And I was blown away by how loud it was and how much I was feeling the bass and everything. And I'm like, oh, and then,
wow.
At this thing, I was expecting something comparable and it really wasn't, but the band was excellent. They were great. And then seeing that many people in one area is very wild.
You're definitely, when it comes to like stadium sound, you're just dealing with a lot of issues. There's just a ton of air.
Yeah.
There's almost too much air to be able to you know what I mean? Because those low frequency waves, they just fly away.
Oh yeah.
It's a math problem.
So yeah, that's it was still fun though. And the fact that I was seeing the merch line was you just walked almost around the entire building, and that was wild.
That was one thing I was wondering if they would do. I guess they didn't. That Taylor Swift did on her Eras tour. That Alicia went to one of the Tampa dates.
Yeah,
and they knew merch lines were going to be a problem, so they dead ass just had QR codes everywhere, and they were order your merch on your phone, and we'll send it to you.
Oh,
we'll ship it to you. Same price, no big deal. But just you can stand in line, you can get the Eras shirt here and miss 45 minutes of the show.
Yeah.
Or so people were ordering on the way in. which was smart. Like, because you're going up into Ray J, and you're like, oh, so while you're waiting for the music to start, and you're kind of sitting in your seat, you pick out your merch you want, and you place the order. And they got it to her not that much later. Maybe it was a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But I think that's the way things need to go. Well, and like if the Cure had done that, that would have been sweet.
They kind of did. They put up everything online. They just didn't have the QR codes and stuff. But you could pretty much order everything online.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely the way to do it. Well, I'm glad they're doing that because, Jesus.
Yeah,
like waiting in line, like there's no. I mean, you got people like wearing adult diapers to go see Taylor Swift, so they don't miss like a minute of the show.
Yeah,
and you expect people to stand in a 30-minute merch line?
Yeah,
like,
no.
Yeah.
So, but that's been me. How you been?
Good. I had a funny story happen to me. So I've been working on some music stuff.
Ooh.
And I record like like this whole rig, like where I work here and whatever, is like in our bedroom, and because when you have kids, you don't have spare rooms.
Right.
They didn't tell me that. They didn't give me that in the kid instruction manual.
Right.
You just don't have a room to do anything in. So it's pretty crunched. If I have my keyboard set up, I mean, I'm in a little space here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm recording some bass, and I go to like hit stop and like Control Z and like do another take. And I have my huge Yeti cup of tea. I mean, this thing is full of iced tea. I mean, it's just like full of it. The biggest Yeti they make. And my pinky just graces the corner, the edge of the lip.
No.
And knocks the whole goddamn thing off. Onto the ground. I'm in my socks. I'm playing bass. Like, it's literally covers the entire area I have to work in. Under my chair, under my keyboard, under my computer desk. Worst case scenario. So I'm like, I flip out. I'm so pissed. I'm like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. I'm so mad. I'm like the maddest I've ever been. I'm like,
right.
I'm saying all this shit. I'm like, God damn, I wish I had more place to work. More space because this shit, blah, blah, I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
Going crazy. And I go to open the door, the bedroom door to go get some paper towels. And we keep our bedroom door closed. Number one, just because music and whatever, but also our cat. When our cat gets in our bedroom, our cat gets under the bed and then refuses to come out and then gets into shit that's in here. And it's also bad that I'm not painting right now because like she would like go tip over like wet models, and that was really annoying.
Oh goodness.
But we still keep it closed for that reason.
Okay.
The minute I open the door, she runs in, runs through the tea.
Yeah.
Goodness. I am furious. No. I'm even more mad.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, you goddamn, So I go get the paper towels, I clean it up and take my time, use a fork. I'm still real mad. So I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna go out and back porch and try to cool off a little bit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like playing the bass is done right now because I'm so mad.
Yeah.
So I go on the back porch, and I just seem like a crazy person because I was so mad. But then I started thinking about the cat, and I started thinking about the cat, like from all this happening from the cat's perspective. And I started laughing, I started laughing so hard just by myself because I can imagine the cat sitting like at the corner of the door frame in the door, like at that. She sits in there. She waits for you to open the door, and she rushes in. She's sitting there like, I'm gonna get in that room. Oh, I can't wait till he's done playing bass.
Yeah.
Here's that noise. Here's me start cursing. And instead of being like, oh man, that sounds real rough, I'm gonna get out of here. She's like, don't give a shit. Still my shot.
Yeah.
Still my shot.
Going in.
You know what I mean? So when I opened the door, she goes, oh, thank you. And like goes right in.
Right.
I started laughing about that, dude. And then I came back in like a really good mood. It was weird. Something about the cat not caring that I was throwing like a tantrum over this spilled tea.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
kind of put it in perspective. Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the cat being like, hey, I'm coming in the room. And whenever she comes in, she gives you a little greeting. She goes like, brr.
Right.
It's like a little, like it's like, hey, it was like every time she does it. Yeah, she does that.
Yeah.
And so she did it then. And I'm like, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. And so I came back actually in a way better mood.
That's
awesome. It was really weird.
That is weird how that worked out.
It was very like, I don't know, my emotions felt very like mercurial because I was like so mad on the back porch. And then I was like laughing and stuff. And then she got into our bathroom and I shut her in there and she hates that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, well. And she's like, meow, meow. I'm like, come on now.
Oh, yeah. That's the problem that I have now with Cheeto, because Cheeto is like a daddy's cat. Like he wants to be with me, and at least in the daytime. And he if I'm in the because I don't let him in the studio because there's just
there's way too much stuff to knock over in there. Yeah.
And so he'll just be sitting there crying, and I can only let it go for so long because like I don't know, another living being wanting your attention. I mean, I was single for so long, Ryan. I mean, like, you know.
Oh, I know,
like,
dude.
You know what I'm saying?
You're just trying to rack it up wherever you can.
Geez, I don't care.
What I mean? Like wherever you can do.
2 legs, 4 legs, no legs. I'll take it all. But yeah. So
yeah. No, I think Luna is definitely a daddy's cat too. Like we spend a lot of good time together, and she definitely wants to be where I am. But the problem is like she likes to run outside and in on the back, and like, dude, this cat doesn't care. That's the thing about Luna that's wild. We've tried the spray bottle. And she was scared of the noise for a minute. Like she didn't like the point at me and pull the trigger and there's the sound. She doesn't like the sound. But the water, not really, doesn't really care. So that stopped working because when she figured out, oh, this thing won't hurt me.
Yeah,
it didn't. She went right through it. So today it's storming. Okay,
right.
And she gets out on the back porch, and she runs like she does right outside, right around the pool. Like same deal, doesn't care if it's raining, doesn't care. I grab her by the scruff, bring her in, and as a little punishment, this might sound a little mean, some rain was running off of the roof.
Okay.
And so as I was carrying her in, I like held her for a minute, like under that stream of water.
Yeah.
Like I was like, yeah, take some of that. Yeah. And then I was like, look, you can't do this. I'm trying to like teach her, like, you can't do this.
Yeah.
She, under that stream of water, the water's going right down on her head. She's looking at me like, what? No reaction.
Nothing.
I don't think she's scared of water. The water, she looks like she's getting like not this much water. People are gonna say I'm abusing animals, but like it looked like almost like she was getting like slimed on Nickelodeon a little bit, and she didn't care. She was like, okay.
She's like, okay.
Then I always look at her in the face and say, you can't do that, and I put her inside. Oh yeah, no, she was purring the next. Like I went back in there, and she's like, what's up? What's up? I'm like, she's still wet.
Right.
She's still like covered in water.
Yeah.
And she's like, whatever. So I've got the cat that likes to break boundaries and doesn't care about water. That's a problem.
That is a problem. Goodness. Yeah. Like if they're not scared of water, like what can you do?
I suspected that when she was really young and I'd be doing dishes and she'd be up in my face and I'd flick some water at her, like, get away. And she just took the flick and was like, oh, that's weird. Anyway, let me get in this. I'm like, okay. And yeah, so she doesn't care about water.
Yeah, thankfully.
So that's what's going on with that.
Thankfully, Cheeto, he does not like the sound of he doesn't like the sound of keys jangling. And so that's been something to help us keep him in line and not be so trying to get out all the time. But yeah. So but the water
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, the water, the cats are just they once they get used to it, they're like, oh, this doesn't hurt me. Okay, that's fine. But
I knew that this one comment would get me some stuff. But Teddy Gaming Reviews says, I've never found the UK date system to be weird. I always found the US date system to be weird. Yeah, no, I said that intentionally to get some heckles. I understand the thing about day, month, year. I totally get it because you're going. It makes sense. You're going like day, which is like the smallest increment of time in a date, to the middle to the longest. Like I get that.
Yeah,
but you could equally also say that sometimes the month is the most important piece of information. Yeah. So why wouldn't that be first? That's my counter to that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? That's my counter. My counter is that you go, oh, August 5th, 2023.
Right.
Like the month often means more to me than the date, and the month sets me up to get contextualized data for the date. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, for example, if you're like, oh, don't forget my birthday's, and you say 6 August 1990 million.
Yeah.
Right. And you're like, okay, so the 6th of August 1990 million. Okay. Like, but if I tell you like, oh, my birthday's August, you're like, true. 6th.
Right.
1990 million.
But is that,
I mean? Like,
just
because I can make an argument that that's just as legitimate.
Right, but is that just because that's what we're used to? That's more than likely
Absolutely.
what it is.
Well, that's part of the American way.
It is. Yeah.
American way is go, this is how I'm used to it.
So get used to it.
That makes it not weird.
Yeah, exactly. So
John Clement says, I'm out here waterboarding pets. He says that cat spent too much time. That cat spends too much time in Gitmo. I am very nice to my cat.
You are.
However, I do try to discipline the cat enough. I understand cats. You can't like be like, oh, a cat, threw up on the floor, and then 2 hours later, I'm gonna I don't hit my animals.
No.
But when it comes to getting out, I do. I grab her by the scruff. I hold her up near my face. I try to assert dominance. I'm kind of like, no, we don't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But then the water, she doesn't care. I almost wish I had I have an image in my head of her with the water streaming down her head, and she's just looking at me. And I wish I could I wish I actually had a photo, because it's the funniest thing. It's the most human you can't discipline me face I've ever seen. But she's sweet.
She is.
And yeah. So you ready to get into this episode, sir?
I am. So let's do it.
I get a sip of tea first. Ooh. October 31st, or 31st of October, 1997, depending on which part of the pond where you're at, what you do. They both make a lot of sense to me. But America. So it's going to be October 31st, 1997. Next Mutation. You know what I'm saying? That Ninja Turtles. There's no teenage.
There's no teenage.
We know they're mutants. We need to talk about that. The Next Mutation, episode 8, Silver and Gold, premiered on this date.
Woo.
Man. So if you followed up along with us last episode, we kind of called last episode a bit of a nothing burger. You know what I'm saying? All in the family,
boar fest,
little baby turtle, a little boar fest. Yes, a boar fest. Simon Borfest over here. We met Simon Bonesteel. It's all right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm glad that we had this episode, because while there's some weird crap going on in this episode, I feel like it's much better than the last one. So that's just my little opinion.
Wholeheartedly agree. Yes.
So back in the day, the Pepsi logo used to look like this.
Yep.
And if you're not watching on YouTube, you should be, because this gives you everything you need to know about where we're at. We've got an old Pontiac, white Pontiac, trying to make his way down Fifth Avenue. We got a cop with, I don't know why he's got that safety patrol. I don't know why he's got that going on. And we got a guy with a cart with an old school Pepsi logo on it. And that tells you everything you need to know. It's summer.
Yep.
Even though everyone's wearing long sleeves. In New York, it is the midst of the greatest heat rate on record. You know what I'm saying? Look, even the Statue of Liberty is melting. You know what I'm saying?
That's slightly shorter than how it normally is.
Slightly shorter. So yeah, you get to see her stance. Her back's not straight. It's kind of
it's a little,
sagging.
It's normally flat. Like if you go up to her in New York, that's all flat, but those are sweat ripples.
Yeah. Normally, no, that's just like the it's like melting. Yeah, it's just so hot. And we live in Florida, so I mean we have central AC, but up there,
no, they don't even know what AC is.
I got a window shaker. Oh wait, just fell out the window on somebody. I live in Manhattan.
Or the Foot Clan stole it.
That's how they sound.
Yeah,
if you hear that, you're like, God, really? There's a hole in your window. You're like, that sucks. Like during the greatest heat wave on record, seriously, guys.
Really?
Yeah. You know what I mean? When they ask you regular or menthol, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean, maybe I want one of those after you stole my AC. Anyway, we open up in the sewer on this episode during an unprecedented heat wave. Mikey's catching some sewer rays, whatever that means, because there seems to be ambient light in the sewer, but I don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah.
And if you're cold-blooded, heat isn't a problem.
It is not.
Heat's a good thing. To be 100. You're like, well, I'm going to live another day. You know what I mean? And he's going to, cop some sewer rays. And speaking of cops, you know what I'm saying? It's about to go down.
It is.
Because out of nowhere, you hear the sound of ATVs revving up. And all of a sudden, they are blowing past Mikey. And Mikey's like, whoa, who put out the lights? And then they crash. And then he's like, bro. So he rolls up to the scene, ATV's on their side, no one there. You know what I'm saying? No one's there. The NYPD show up, as is their way. And they also investigate the crashed ATVs.
And they're very quick.
Like Mikey.
They're very quick to get there.
Put your flashlight down there. All right. I hate this. And then they leave. And Mikey's in the back. That looks like some 3 Men and a Baby.
Oh my goodness, it totally does.
I mean? Like, it's creepy, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, you hear about the ghost turtle? You hear about the ghost turtle in that movie?
The ghost turtle.
I love that was just a cardboard cutout of your boy in a tuxedo.
Yeah, I love that. But
I love that.
I love the whole rumor about it, like the whole mystery about it. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
I don't know how recently you read up on this, but I recently read up on it because I was telling the kids about it. Literally the producers and whoever released the movie on home video deadass knew the rumor was a thing, and they just didn't correct it because it got record rentals.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
So literally. So there's Sam Malone.
Who's Ted Danson.
Ted Danson. Ted Danson's on record talking about it. Everyone, they kind of all talked about it, and they were like, "Yeah, we could dispel it." Mm-hmm. And it's kind of a funny story about how that tuxedo cutout was supposed to be a plot line in the movie, but it just never happened.
Yeah.
But they knew about it and did not say anything because the rentals were through the roof because everyone's like, you got to see the dead person in the ghost in 3 Men and a Baby.
Oh, and that's awesome.
That detail means so much to me.
It does.
It means
too.
so much to me about that story.
I still get excited thinking about it because I remember being back when it was pertinent. That it was
it was a real deal.
It was a thing, and you'd be like, oh, but I want to see that ghost because you couldn't see it any other way. Wait until it comes on TV.
Oh no, there was no internet to be like, oh, I saw that image on the internet. Just see it, you just see it, right?
Yeah.
And so my kids were asking their first question when they saw the picture is they were like, well, how did no one look at it and know it wasn't some kid. It was a Ted Danson, basically. I'm like, welcome to the world of SD.
Yeah.
We're this image you're seeing online is really clean.
Yeah.
Probably from a remaster of the movie. Mm-hmm. On VHS, dude, good luck.
Yeah.
You're not going to see that looks like a weird kid standing
and on
in
a
that
CRTV.
Shower. Oh, absolutely. No, I mean the home of SD anyway. Mm-hmm. So basically that's a cardboard cutout of Mikey with a tuxedo on. And we're not going to tell you because we want you to rent more Next Mutations. So Mikey hides, and when they leave, Mikey steps out thinking I'm safe, I'm alone or whatever. Absolutely not. Because he is stalked upon by none other than Silver the Talking Ape.
Oh my gosh.
There he is.
I love this so much.
Cool your jets, kid.
I love it so much.
He carries himself. Let's describe him for the audio listeners, Eric.
Okay.
What are we looking at here?
So he is just a giant. Okay, so he looks just if you didn't know, he has the face of what a gorilla monkey type ape.
It's Cornelius from Planet of the Apes. It is so Planet of the Apes that it might as well be from Planet of the Apes. It could have been used in Planet of the Apes.
Right. So he has that look, but he's got silver hair. He's wearing a banana yellow, April O'Neil yellow suit that's got a rain jacket and then I guess that's a 3-piece suit with a black shirt underneath and a red tie. Oh my goodness, he looks amazing, and he's got a black fedora. He's
wearing so many clothes for it being a heat wave.
Oh,
it's almost ridiculous that he's dressed like that. Actually,
and
because you feel you could, if you still want to get the Godfather thing going, he wouldn't have to wear all that,
right?
You know what I mean? He could have those long sleeve shirts with the little bands above the elbow. Does anyone know? Do you know what those were for? Back in the 30s and stuff, if a guy ever had his jacket off, he had the white shirt and then the black bands above his elbows. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
Were those to roll your shirt up on?
Maybe.
You've seen them. If I showed you a picture of someone in those, you'd be like, oh no, I've seen that a million times. So I have no idea what they were used for.
I don't know. I can't even think of what you're talking about. I'm trying to see if I can. I wanted to see about. I meant to look up this voice actor, and I forgot to do it. And I thought it was Michael Ironside that did his voice, but it is not. It's Gary Chalk, and I think I know him very specifically because I think he does a lot of stuff for. Yes, he did a lot of stuff for Beast Wars and Transformers stuff
again with the Beast Wars.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because
hired on everybody from Beast Wars.
Yeah, yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, he does the voice. He does some voices for Masters of the Universe too. For the 2003 or 2000X, whatever you want to call it. I think he does some voices on that. And yeah, but he's excellent. Like the voice of him and the actor who I don't know if he's acting as him, but this whole character is fantastic.
Yeah.
I am 100% here for this because I have so many questions and I just love it so much.
We're going to answer them all
because
you know what I'm saying. That's
good. Because it gives you that this is the start, the hint of that Batman 66 kind of vibe that this show has.
Yeah.
And I'm totally here for it 100%.
So Silver gives us a little bit of background on himself. He claims he is from a family that was the pride of the Himalayas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But warns Mikey not to speak about their encounter or its curtains. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, good talking to you. You know, my family used to be the pride of the Himalayas. By the way, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
And Mikey's like, what, bro? What? And like he walks away.
Right.
And so back in the lair, you know what I'm saying? Don is cooing to himself, certified. Like he's all about
it.
Certified turtle file. That's a good caption. He's all about this new software that he designed, but of course you're not going to know about it till a while. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
so
yeah,
don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's just previewing that shit. That's a soft launch. Mikey returns to the lair and he does like the worst job ever of convincing anyone that he saw anything real.
Yeah, yeah.
As you can see in the caption, cops, dune buggies, talking apes. Like everyone's like, Mikey's got the itis, and he's like, well, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, Leo literally runs up and says Mikey's tripping on food poisoning.
Which living in the sewer and eating like they eat is valid.
Right.
It sounds like something that Leo's encountered.
Yeah.
Like they've all encountered a lot down there.
But I love that in the background, can you see, let me see if I can get my mouse over there. So Raphael looks like he's like holy because he's got the glow.
Oh, he does.
Him.
He's got the thing.
I just noticed this.
Sick.
That's so weird.
I love that.
But I kind of love it.
Our holy church of Raphael.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he does like the worst job ever. They do believe him about the cops though, in the ATV crash, and Splinter is particularly concerned about police snooping around the sewer, and he's not really feeling that for obvious reasons.
Forgive me, Ryan, but typical dad, typical parent stuff.
Oh yeah, he's like, who's out of my house?
You're gonna forget all the other stuff, like apes, all this wild shit. You hear the fuzz, you hear the police, and you're like, no, that's it. That's all I care about. Yeah.
So Donnie goes on and theorizes that there's been a recent string of heat wave heists, by the way.
Yeah.
And he kind of starts connecting some dots about like maybe they're using the sewers to get away.
Right.
And it's kind of like, ooh, who knows? So in a swank New York high-rise, where I don't know if he just like sneaks in the back door or like how he comports himself living in this swank apartment. We enter the abode of Silver, who, along with his human henchmen, are gloating over their successful money counter.
Yes. 26
that
million
they've gotten
smackers.
$26 million from 7 robberies.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
There's probably a reason it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Especially
in the 90s.
Just 1 week of crime.
Just 1 week of crime in the 90s.
1 week of crime in the 90s, dude.
Now, what do you think about their suits, dude? Because these, I love it so much. It's so good.
It's given like a ton of like Dick Tracy,
totally,
like unused Dick Tracy outfits for like other villains that like never got used.
Right, but I love the idea that like, are these suits that these guys had, or were they suits that like that Silver made them get? Like, I'm just curious.
Yeah, because the truth is, no one dresses like that. Actually,
no.
Like if like so, for example, Silver dresses like that.
Yes.
Because, in the Himalayas, that's what they had to do.
That's what they had to do.
But these guys are dressed completely out of their time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It sounds like the gang uniform. It sounds like, because the way that Silver kind of talks to them is like, he jokes with them, but then like, he doesn't like how you laughed at the joke.
Yeah.
So then he like hits you with a stick. And then, so it feels like being around him any amount of time, he'd be like, "What are you wearing over here? Look at this t-shirt. Look at these. What are these cowboy jeans? What are you doing in here?" You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you get enough of that, and like you start like kind of guessing, like maybe he wants me to dress more like a gangster from the 40s, and like it works.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't get made fun of anymore.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Pretty interesting stuff. Silver also mentions that he's the last of his kind. He mentions this a few times. And that's why he's gotten so greedy. He loves money more than most things. And that's the kind of guy you're dealing with.
Oh, yeah.
So back in the sewer, Mikey's still talking about Silver. No one's anywhere closer to believing him about any of it. Donnie finally shows off the software. He's finally like, now you can see. He look at that picture of him's perfect.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, hey, check this out. It is an algorithm with a map or whatever, and it can predict where the robbers may strike next based on their previous robberies, which all seem to be around the same block.
Yeah.
Like on the image, like it's like a big, like almost a closed loop.
Right.
And there's like a couple places they could also rob.
Like he didn't even have to triangulate it. It's just like it literally just goes around.
It's just like, well, there it is. So he's kind of like, yeah, like I can predict that they're going to rob one of two possible banks in the area. And everyone's like, neat. Splinter again brings up that having the police around ain't great.
No,
it's not super great for
He's
anybody.
Not a fan.
This leads to an argument between Leo and Raph that's, very predictable, where Raph wants to be proactive and go crack some skulls. Leo says something I'm very curious to see what you think about. So Leo says, we're not the Power Rangers. Leave the crime fighting to them.
Yeah.
However, I would posit that the Turtles are actually closer to being like the Power Rangers, since they both deal with like supernatural threats a lot.
Right. And
than the police, where neither of them deal with crime, actually.
Right. And it depends on which... Right. Yeah. It depends on which Ranger series you're talking about, though, because, like, I mean, we do... there are cop Ranger series.
Yeah, but this is 1997. He's referring to Mighty Morphin or Alien Ranger or something like that.
Well, no. Well, that's the point I'm making is that they haven't... I don't think they've gotten there yet, because Mega Ranger is the one that that they're going to team up with here shortly, and that one is actually Power Rangers in space, but Mega Ranger is the Sentai, and it deals with that. But leading up to that, they, as far as Power Rangers is concerned, you had the dinosaur ones, which is Mighty Morphin. You had some of the ninja ones. You had the car ones, which was Turbo, and then you had Zeo, which was just very similar to Mighty Morphin. And then you had the Alien Rangers, like you mentioned. Yes. So, and they didn't fight like criminals, really. They just fought like monsters and sci-fi stuff. So yeah. Now, like a couple of years later, you get into like Lightspeed Rescue, and you get into, there's some other ones like Time Force and things like that are a little bit more procedural, and SPD, all this stuff that I could see that argument being made for that. But no, the Turtles actually are more crime fighters, because they fought a legitimate crime ninja gang for like presumably everything leading up to this series. And so they
actually
literally
deal more with crime.
Yeah, literally their first 5 episodes is them ending that crime spree of that the Foot Clan. And
no, and I'm even giving them credit for like right now. Like I'm even throwing out how they're actually closer to the police than the Rangers ever were, really.
Yeah.
The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And in general, everyone's perception of the Power Rangers, right?
Yeah.
So I'm even giving them credit for like, no, just start like with like the Dragon Lord, bro. The Dragon Lord is like Rita Repulsa.
Yeah.
Like every episode he tries to do another thing, and you literally have to like morph and stop him,
Right.
and then come back.
Yeah.
Like it's your Power Rangers.
Yes.
But we all know that Saban was just trying to promote Power Rangers. So I mean, like,
absolutely.
that's why he says that.
But you could talk about Bone Steel, with Bone Steel being like selling endangered species. So there's that kind of crime. You know what I'm saying? And so that's something that the Power Rangers might not necessarily do unless there was a monster that was doing that. But even then, like that, I don't know where the jurisdiction is with like where the cops say
it's not like the Rangers, like when they're off duty, wouldn't stop a crime if it was happening right in front of them. But like they live in California, man.
Yeah,
there's crime's happening.
Crime is
like
a part of life,
and they're just at the juice bar.
Crime's
you
in
know
the
what I'm trying to say?
Oh yeah,
like
Angel Grove
worried about like is the juice bar going to shut down?
Yeah,
do you know what I'm trying to say? We gotta work on that. They're not worried about like this woman was mugged. They're like, fair. Wait a minute, it's a huge monster.
Exactly. Let's get our huge robot. Did you know that you can go to their headquarters? Like that their headquarters, that big weird looking building, is actually a place. Like that.
Isn't that an observatory?
It's an observatory, if I'm not mistaken.
Isn't it? Yeah.
But you can legitimately go there, and that's so. My father-in-law lives in California, and that's
the exterior, right?
One of the.
Yeah.
I don't think Zordon's in there anymore. I think he got evicted. Him and Alpha, they got evicted, and they moved to Florida, but then Florida got a little weird about relationships.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
This is why we're probably going to move. So anyway,
look at the viewing globe Rangers.
Right.
Wait, did you just drop to me that you're going to move to California? Did you just say that?
I was talking about you and me moving.
Oh,
because,
because things aren't looking great.
Yeah,
right now.
But I was saying, I was making an illusion that I'm gonna have to go when next time we go to California to see my father-in-law.
Absolutely.
That we're gonna have to. He sent me. I'm sorry. I just reminded myself of this.
Sure.
He sent me a hat, a Turtles hat, and I meant to have it. Not like I don't know. I just thought it was neat. But guess what? Couldn't wear it because my head's too big. The dome's too big. So yeah.
Yeah.
Just
we're gonna get you. We're gonna get you. We're going to figure out your hat size.
I know. That's why I brought it up.
I'm going to tell you what hat size you should buy. So we're going to go to the Rays game. We're going to go to Randyland. And then
Randyland. I forgot about Randyland.
We got to go to Randyland. Randyland's, man. Dude, your boy Randy was so good in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Because he made the All-Star team, which is awesome.
Okay.
And then they had the home run derby, bro.
Yeah.
And he was in the home run derby on Monday and made it to the finals. Like he almost beat the guy who won it.
Yeah.
Your boy was out there tripping out. He was doing his little like pose like this, all the time. He has this whole thing from the 2020 playoffs with these cowboy boots. He bought these cowboy boots that were like good luck or something.
Okay.
And he came out, he got introduced to the home run derby. He came out with all this fog and crap, and he's in his full baseball uniform, but he's wearing black cowboy boots. Like, it's a whole thing. At one point during a break when he was hitting home runs, he put his daughter in the batter's box. She's like 2. Put her in the batter's box and then stood above her and did like his little Randy pose. It was ridiculous.
Oh my goodness.
It was ridiculous. He got a hit in the All-Star game. He made a great catch in the All-Star game. Our boy Yandy Diaz got a home run in the All-Star game. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Rays.
Yeah.
Your boy Randy Arozarena was wilding out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At the All-Star game. So we got to bring that energy right back. You know what I'm saying? Anyways.
We got to do it.
So besides Saban talking about Saban things, Splinter breaks into the middle of this whole thing and he winds up siding with Raph, stating that the risk of having the police like up in their business is worth the cost of whatever ninja code you got to bend the rules for to go stop these actual like criminals because they're going to keep using the sewers. And with this, the Turtles hop in their Hummer and Raph hops on his bike, of course, because he can't ride with anybody.
Raph and ride.
And they leave. Raph and ride, and they leave to stake out the potential robbery locations.
Yeah, so they go to like the Second National Bank, and Raphael refers to it as 2 National, which was very weird to me. Like I was like, come on, really? Like that it sounded a lot like, well, kind of like the teenager equivalent of Rapping Dad. Like he's trying to sound cool, but like he's trying to impress Venus so he can like, you know, actualize that drawing that he had of him and her on the bike. So but anyway, so the Turtles split up. Leo, I might have been mistaken. I think no. I think I was right. Raphael says Second Bank, but anyway, They're doing this, and both sets of turtles are like giving Donatello a bunch of grief. Like they're calling him Geek Boy and like all this stuff, and it's really weird. Like
when all he's doing is that Oracle plan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's just on that Oracle plan.
Yeah.
He's just like, would you like to have some Oracle shit?
Right.
And they're like,
yeah,
fucking nerd. And he's like, no, like, why are you saying that to me?
Yeah, and he's like, he just wants to be called team leader, which makes sense because he's at Central Command, and I don't know, it just seemed unnecessarily aggressive, but nevertheless, Mikey and Leonardo are at this other bank, and they have these binoculars, and they're.
I thought they were at Second National. Am I wrong with that?
Yeah, I think you're wrong.
Second National.
Yeah, because Mikey goes to the guy that's creeping. And so,
but I thought they were outside. Whatever.
No, it's two separate places. And so
I know it's two separate places. Okay, go.
Yeah.
I just watched it today, but it's all good.
Yeah, so did I. And shots fired. Shots fired. No,
I wish the one thing about watching a lot of Mighty Morphin with Brad is like I wish you could just call down the sword. Like the Zord does.
Oh yeah.
And just like whip someone's ass like in an argument. Like if you're like, you're getting hit up because you're like Megazord and you're getting like, you're about to lose.
Right, exactly.
And then you're like, and you grab like word sword. And you're like, God.
And then like that riff comes in. Yeah, all that.
That's how you know that the guy's gonna die.
Oh, absolutely.
That's how you know that the other guy's gonna die.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, good. Mm-hmm. Goodness. Anyway, but no, the reason I know is because Raphael's the one who says to National Bank, and that's what rubbed me the wrong way. And then Mikey's here with Leo at this place.
At the other place. Yeah. Their problem is they don't name the other place, and they also don't do much of scene setting. So
they don't.
Like that's on them.
It is. It's totally on them. So they're there. Mikey or Leo or Mike, one of the two, are looking through these binoculars, and they see a creep slinking at.
He's slinking
at 12 o'clock, and they're like, "What's going on?" And this is New York. Like this doesn't sound like anything that would cause alarm. Like there's just some dude in a trench coat walking by a bank. Like what the hell? And so Mikey just like takes off, and Leo's like, "Oh hey, wait a minute, hold up." And Mikey takes off, and he goes, oh, sorry. He scares the dude. The dude's got like circle glasses and stuff. Just looks a little weird. So I understand he looks a little creepy.
He puts on the affect that he's blind.
Yeah.
Even though he has no stick, and he was just walking.
And they don't address it, but you're absolutely right. That's
when Mikey leaves, when Mikey goes, sorry, mister, and like walks away at the end, the guy feigns this whole, I'm reaching, like I can't see, like you've disturbed me. He feigns this whole like, I'm turned around now and I'm blind. I'm turned around because you messed with me.
Right. And so like it's just so weird. But Mikey's just like, oh, sorry, I don't want your money. I'm not like trying to, do anything. And it's just this weird, confusing thing. All of a sudden, the cops show up. Just out of nowhere.
Safety always off.
Literally. Like this lady just pulls up with her partner, guns ablazing.
I want to double check this with you. I am 99.9% sure that is also the newscaster.
Ooh.
Look at her face?
Okay. Do you want me to skip ahead and see? Because I have a shot of her.
Sure.
You want to do that now? Okay. Let's.
We do side by side. I watched this episode once just to watch it this morning when I was getting dressed, and then another time when we reviewed it, and I'm like 99%.
Okay, I think it's close, but I'm not sure. It's very close.
You put a little more makeup and you do the hair with the lighting, and then you go over there.
You're not far off. But I think that they might be two separate actors. But I think they're two separate actors. But they're not. It's not too far off. But nevertheless, this one's got a gun in your face, Ryan, and she's wanting you to put your hands where she can see them. So yeah. And this is very weird. I kind of loved it though. I kind of like really liked they're having some interaction with New Yorkers that are noticing a giant turtle person walking around. Like, yeah, I don't know. So it was more like, the checks are coming due kind of thing. And I really appreciated that. Well, your boy Leonardo, he shifts into gear, if you know what I'm saying, and gets in the cop car and lets it off the brake. and it starts
Deficit neutral.
Coasting down the road. So both cops take off after it instead of just one staying there and the other one going to get, which would have made more sense. But nevertheless, that's what happened. And so Mikey, I guess I don't even remember what happens here. Do they just turtles vanish, right? Like, so they just take off, him and Leo, and you got your boy.
The cops go and chase their car down, and they just haul ass.
Yeah, and then your boy just looks straight creeping still at 12 o'clock.
Is he the most 90s looking guy you've ever seen?
Yes.
Some of his face, there's some of his teeth, his smile, the goatee, the way he's like, yeah, boss. Like, yeah. I feel like that guy just can't exist outside the 90s.
He can't. And then I'm not trying to make fun of people's teeth or nothing, but this thing going on right here.
Yeah, they're all like rounded and stuff. It's like he looks like a character from The Simpsons.
He kind of does.
Like his teeth look like they're like Simpsons teeth.
He kind of does. And the round glasses don't help. Like, I know, actually, now that I say this, two people that are on the show quite regularly, Father Preston and Farmer Greg, both wear round glasses. And no. So I ain't saying anything lately, but like,
you haven't been saying anything about it lately.
But I mean, you have to. I think they can do it, but you can pull it off still. But there's a big stigma that comes with those round glasses, and
you've really got to like have your stuff on point.
Yeah, you got to. And thankfully our two dudes do pretty much, but still.
They do have it. They do have it on lock, but you could be upended at any time.
Exactly.
It's like John Lennon gets to wear that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then everyone outside of that, you're
pushing it.
Who knows? Your safety's not guaranteed.
Not guaranteed.
It's not guaranteed.
Yeah, mileage may vary. Yeah. Like tomorrow you might die. And
tomorrow you might die.
Oh goodness. So meanwhile, Venus, do you remember her, Ryan? Venus? She's just like not in the first part of this episode. She's not. And I was wondering if she had any lines. Like, I wonder if like her voice actress was unavailable, so that she's there but she's not talking as much. But she starts to talk here and there. But it was enough to where I was like, oh, it's been a minute. But she has had a lot of the spotlight, a bunch lately. So yeah, her and Raph are they're at 2 National Bank, and they see some stuff happening in the alleyway, and that's some boys vacuuming some money through the sewers, like from the underneath the bank, because that's, if you haven't robbed a bank before, which is a rite of passage here in Florida, this is one of the ways you can do it with a strong enough vacuum. Yeah, just find the nearest sewer next to the bank, plug it in, and yeah, they kind of expect you to do it. It's kind of a thing. It's like a tit for tat kind of thing. So we're well versed in this, especially in heat waves. That's the thing. In heat waves, it's like the purge almost for this.
Yes.
And so yeah, here's a close up. They're sucking money, and humans are so greedy. But that was hilarious. So the turtles just
they're sucking the money.
They're sucking it, trying to get a buck or two, and so they just run up. These are trained ninjas. They're not teenagers anymore. These are ninjas, and they just run up and they just bonk the bad guys on the back of the head. That's it. Just bonk and going down. And so then they. Oh, actually, I didn't catch this until I'm just now reading it, that Raphael actually says that, I think he says it, him or Venus, one of the two, they say battling crime is fun. I feel like Batman, which is
that was Raph.
Interesting. Yeah, because I don't think she would feel like Batman. But
because later a guy says like, yeah, well, because he overheard him, and he's like, yeah, well, the thing in this comic, the bad guy wins.
Oh, okay, yeah, because at this point, there's a windowless white van that they were funneling the money into, and out of that van comes your boys, which is this guy on the right, which looks like he reminds me of one of the weasels from Roger Rabbit.
Yeah. I call him Freddy Krueger O-Face.
Oh my goodness, that's another good way of explaining that. Yes, and then your boy on the left looks like pre-Joker Jack Nicholson. Name? Like that's what he looks like.
No. We got to think of a name for him though.
But yeah,
He's right eye Rodriguez.
Oh my
Instead of
goodness,
left
that's
eye
pretty
Lopez.
good. Yeah, instead of Left Eye Lopez. Yeah, I get it. Oh, that's
And then you have Freddy Krueger O-Face.
oh, your names are so much better than mine. But yeah, no, that's
Dude,
yeah, that's really
you
good.
came up with the devil's lettuce for that one character in the animated series, and
Oh.
you won that bitch. And you're still doing like victory laps on devil's lettuce because that made me cry laugh when you named him that shit.
I forgot about that.
The way I see it is like it's house money for the rest of your life on naming people.
Well,
like, I'm just trying to catch up to you.
Well, that makes me feel good. Okay, thank you. I'll step down off the chair now. And then your boy Silver comes in. Oh, like a boss. Like seriously, like I'd join a gang.
Like an actual boss, because he is a boss.
Yeah, I'd join his gang. Like seriously, I know Plant City's gang free because we have the graffiti outside that says that. But if he showed up in
graffiti outside,
we do. We have it. It says gang free. Has Preston showed you that?
It says no. I haven't seen it, but it says that's almost like it's saying gun free. Yeah. Written in bullets.
Yes.
Like written with like an AR-15. It says gang free. You're like,
yeah. So outside, not too far from my house, there's a utility box, like one of the green ones, the big green ones, and it's got spray painted on there, Plant City gang free, and it's been up there for like at least a year, and I just get so much enjoyment of knowing that like we're safe, but also knowing that it was spray painted on there. Who did that? Like who did that? So
I mean, almost there needs to be like a little permit taped to the green box. It's like City of Plant City said I can do this. That way you know it's legit.
Oh, of course, that's legit.
It's not game,
right? Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, there's this. Oh, I just love him so much, Ryan. I can't express it enough. I hope I'm not like going too far off the deep end with this, but he's just so good.
We need to go to California with that. Yeah, but you're good.
Yeah. So Silver's here, just chewing the scene, just killing it, and he's like he grabs the vacuum, the suction, the money sucker, the money sucker. Yeah. And at this point, what's happened is there's a whole fight that's happened. Leo and Mikey have shown up out of nowhere, and the colorful gangsters are fighting, and now the guys in white that were sucking the money up originally got bonked to the back of the head. They're fighting Raph and Venus, but they're doing which I thought was pretty cool. They're doing a car battle scene to where they're in a parking lot, and I kind of enjoyed that because it kind of opens you up. They didn't do a lot with it, but it's something different.
I mean, they didn't like Jackie Chan it out. You remember like how Jackie Chan would have gotten in between two cars, and he would have used like every part of the car to like beat someone's ass. Mm-hmm. Remember that? That used to be like his whole gimmick, right? Was
absolutely.
Like I'm fighting near I remember one scene was like near a refrigerator.
Right.
Do you remember this? It was in one of those movies, and he uses like the freezer door and the fridge door, and like all the little stuff to like whip someone's ass.
Yeah,
that's a total Jackie Chan situation. They didn't go that hard.
No,
but who did in that time besides Jackie Chan?
Right, exactly. But then like they do you remember the commercial that the refrigerator makers did? They just appropriated that scene to sell the refrigerator. You don't remember that?
Oh, I don't.
Oh, maybe I made that up.
That really happened?
No, no.
Oh,
like
I can see you being a tie where they're like Maytag, bah 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 bah,
right. Like it's one of those things where Maytag's the guys at Maytag, the people at Maytag are like, all right, so I got this idea. Let's get two commercials. Let's get one showing you what all you can put in the refrigerator, and then one that we'll show later at night, like when our male demographic is maybe up, that will show you how much ass you can kick with this refrigerator, and we'll see how it works. And that would be amazing. Jeez. So anyway, your boy Silver is just like, the fighting is going on. He shows up, pulls out the vacuum, and he goes, now he blows them away, Ryan. Like, with the power of money, the power of a buck, which he understands. As he says,
mean green.
I don't, did he flip a switch? Because he
flipped the phase, bro.
He flipped the phase, but did they show it? I don't remember them showing it. But nevertheless.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
They don't show half the shit they do on their show.
No, but yeah, he just pulls it out, and all of a sudden it starts blowing, and it blows the turtles. These turtles, they're not teenagers. They're grown adult turtles. that are muscle bound with weapons. Like Leo has a metal sword. That thing has to weigh. How much do you think Leo's sword weighs? Like, just guess.
Good, like what, 20 pounds?
20 pounds.
No, 20 pounds. Maybe 8 pounds. 15 pounds. I don't know.
15, 20 pounds.
John Clemens, help. How much does the sword weigh?
How much does the sword weigh? We need to know right now. Don't Google it though.
Right.
Yeah.
Google it. So, spoil it for everybody.
So,
go ahead and do that.
Like that money vacuum is gonna blow all of them away, and it's just so lazy. I love it so much that it's so late. They're like, whoa! Like
you know, my favorite part of this was
what?
The part afterwards where Silver has his little one liner, and he goes, "So I blew a little bit of cash."
So
that's
good.
My favorite shit.
It's so good.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna tell you a story. Ready? It's a Ring story. Look at his face and look at the words that were said.
Okay.
That has been my response for about my whole life that I've been married to Alicia, my wife, for when I spend too much money. That's how I look. I'm wearing that. I'm wearing that outfit.
Yeah.
And I go, so I blew a little cash. And she's like, that was a guitar cash. I'm like,
right.
So I blew a little cash. Like that. I run that until she like gives up and runs away. And then I'm like,
yeah,
I need to watch that spending. And then I'm like, so I blew a little cash. Like it's basically all I do. With that little face. That's the face I make. I'm like, what? Are you talking to me about a little bit of cash?
Yeah, exactly.
So I blew a little cash.
That's so good. Oh my goodness. Yeah. He's probably my favorite character now in this.
I like it. I like Silver because he doesn't like overreact and like throw temper tantrums about shit.
Yeah.
Like that's so different. And this is why I save it for the end of the episode. But just a check-in, like around this point in the episode is when I was kind of feeling this way.
Mm-hmm.
Is like, so when the guy reports in that not Second National, I guess, but like the other bank wasn't gonna work because there were cops and the turtles were around.
Yeah.
Like Silver's reaction is not like, oh, blasted turtles, or whatever. He goes, huh, more turtles? New York's kind of getting a little more weird, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's his reaction.
Yeah.
It's not like, no.
I
hate those turtles so much. He's just like, damn, that's weird.
Yeah.
Well, we got the other bank. Like, he doesn't overreact to shit.
Yeah. And I love it. He's just so cool.
He's not like a cartoon villain. Like, he's like, it's different.
Like, I wouldn't be so... It's kind of like, this is a juxtaposition of like some of the serious like Batman villains that killed people, like that on screen and or at least like, you know, it was heavily implied, but you still have Batman being like goofy and other things, still zany things happening. But you know that, you hear that crack. Oh, that's somebody's neck over there that they just did. That's the kind of vibe that Silver's given. So at this point, this is when the other turtles first see Silver confirming Mikey's like just rantings about this talking monkey. Leo says, I knew that money talked, but a monkey? Just okay. And so
Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now, script.
Yeah. And so now back in the lair at Splinter's watching WTRT 7, and there's a news reporter on there that looks an awful lot like an April O'Neil, if you will. And
update. Cop number 2 is played by one Rachel Bertrand.
Okay.
Only did one episode of this show, and there is no credit for on IMDb. There's no credit for the newscaster.
Right. Okay. Oh, and before we go, John Clemens in the chat said that I believe that the sword is about 10 pounds, maybe less, and that katanas are known for being lightweight and balanced. However, this doesn't look like a katana. This is like a He-Man kind of sword. Like, I mean, it doesn't look.
That is absolutely a broadsword, and it absolutely becomes scissors. Do not forget that, because it's very easy to forget, guys.
Oh my goodness!
How did I forget? That's just an actual pair of scissors.
That's just a pair of scissors. How did I forget?
Don't forget the scissors part.
Goodness, scissors.
You'll forget it to your peril.
Oh, definitely. And then all of a sudden,
you run into. You're like, what you gonna do with that? Hey, I'm made of threads. And he's like, chink. You're like, oh damn. And that's the end of your story.
Yeah, just it.
If you hear that in New York, if you're walking around New York and you hear the Next Mutation theme song, you walk through You've walked through a portal.
You have.
That ain't great.
And it's not good. It's not good because they don't care.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about anything.
You'll never trust an apparently blind guy with a trench coat on again.
Yeah, no, ever again.
You'll think he's got Simpsons teeth and he's waiting to rat you out.
It's true. It's true. Well, speaking of ratting things out, Donatello knows where the Apes gang is going to strike next because he did some more science stuff. And so we cut back to the swanky, lush apartment of one Silver. And he is just killing it. And he's just like giving his goons like, just giving him some grief and like getting mad at him, and then he goes, "Oh, I'm just monkeying around,"
he's chill. He's like, "Whatever, dude. We got like $26 million. I'm not mad."
Yeah, no, he's like, I don't care. He's got moon money. Like that's how much money he's got.
So do
moon
you?
Money cares.
So I want. Oh no, he does have moon money. So I want to ask you a question.
Okay,
are those rock climbing walls?
That's what I was going to ask you just now. I think I think they
look like rock climbing walls.
Climbing walls, yes. That's
the walls of his house.
Yeah, that's totally what. I'm gonna go back up to when we first see his apartment, and because you can get a better shot of it.
There's a more establishing shot on that one.
Yeah, so there's these weird pillars. He's got this really ugly couch, this huge ass painting, and then some statues, some books, all in front of this rock climbing wall, which is amazing. And it's in
what if you saw a bong on that table over there? Would you shit?
If I saw a what? A bong?
A bong.
Oh, that'd be
like
amazing.
April.
Like how April had in the arcade game?
Yep.
That's probably what this smoke is coming from. Like that
yeah,
because that's what's going on in here. But I just love that this building's in New York. A monkey lives there, and or an ape, I should say.
Yep.
And this is his room. This is where he lives. Yeah, I love that.
That's his house.
Yeah.
He has to pay rent, and like the fire inspector has to come inside there every once in a while.
Right. Exactly.
And he's an ape. He looks like that.
Yeah.
Like that's what he looks like. Maybe though, I mean, maybe like everybody that comes in, they go, "Oh my God, it's a talking ape." He goes, "Hey, you mentioned this is gonna be curtains."
Right.
And maybe they're like, "True." That's why no one's talked.
That's why no one's talked. Exactly. So so he's talking and he's telling his gang about the final heist job and the secret location in New York where all the gold from Fort Knox is being held, coincidentally, just temporarily.
Yep, temporarily.
So they
had to replace the old wooden floors in Fort Knox, and they're like, "You can't have all this gold here."
So back in the
I think you missed one little thing. I hate to say it, but
no.
I interrupted you with the news broadcast because I talked about the person. Things are getting worse because they were topside fighting with those guys, and then they got away in the sewer. Now the news is reporting that they are a gang of criminals dressed like really weird that are escaping into the open manholes. Right. So it's even worse now that they did their initial thing, which leads to this kind of harebrained scheme to catch them at the last minute, because now it literally looks like they're actually criminals.
Right.
There'll be more police in the sewer now.
Right. So that's what they're worried about. And they find out that like, and I think this is the right part. They realize that if the bad guys get to this secret temporary location of the Fort Knox stuff, that their exit strategy through the sewers is going to lead them straight through the lair. And
yeah, because I guess this building is on top of them.
Yeah, it's like he says it's not too far from them. Like it's right near them.
Pretty close.
And so so this is Splinter's all stressed out, and like they're like, okay, we got to figure something out. So they decide that they're gonna go and get rob the bank first. And this is where Splinter. Somehow I got the idea. I think it was Splinter that said anti-crime, like they're almost like anti-hero, but like anti-criminal, and they were kind of like equating it to the same thing, like how you'd say Deadpool's an anti-hero.
Well, I don't remember any of that.
Splinter was trying to say, I just watched it today. So like, Splinter was trying to say.
I also watched it today twice. Did you watch it twice today?
I did. I watched it twice.
Did you watch it twice today?
In fast mode.
Today.
No, I didn't watch it twice today. But
thank you.
You did two today. If you want yours, it's behind the mall.
What was that?
That's the sword. I didn't know what you were doing.
That's the sword coming down.
That was the sword
I'm sorry.
coming down.
Yeah, you don't have my full frame, and I'm really small. But that was me like reaching up for that big ass sword from the clouds and like
right.
striking you down.
I forget what that sword's called. I mean, it's
I can't.
there's
If I knew the name,
there's
I
a
would
Japanese
say it
name for it, and,
really loud.
Yeah, but
I'd say it really loud.
oh my goodness,
But I don't know
that's
the
too
name of it.
good. That's too good. But yeah. So anyway, one way or the other, the turtles decide to go and be anti-criminals and go break into.
Yes, that's the point he's trying to make. I think it might have been buried under fucking sound effects, like like swing, like it may have just those lines may have just been buried.
Yeah.
Underneath, Three Stooges sound effects. But
Right.
yeah, that's the point. Is like the idea is right that like we can't confront them outside of the bank because they've definitely got a way in. So there's going to be in.
Yeah.
So we can't do it from the outside. So we have to break into Fort Knox effectively to stop them while they're in Fort Knox. And yeah, it's like, so we have to be the anti-criminals, basically.
Yeah.
And that place has a super sophisticated security system.
Mm-hmm.
So the Turtles got to find their own way in, and they decide to do it Mission Impossible style. This show suffers a little bit sometimes from the editing, where they have a lot of tight shots usually, right? Because their sets probably aren't very big.
Mm-hmm.
But whoever's shooting, but also whoever's editing, like they're not on the same page. Because I can't tell you how exactly they get in the building.
Yeah.
Like, not specifically. They lower Venus in because she's Shinobi and she's more stealthy than them. That's a good move. Because I swear to God, if you would have dropped like Raph or Mikey or any of them, they would have slipped on a banana peel turn one.
Right.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I swear to God, if they did the Mission Impossible, like hanging from the fucking wire thing in the computer room, like they drop a Twinkie out of their pocket or something.
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous. So dropping Shinobi in is a great idea. And something happens where Donnie's rigged up a system to like interdict the security system and the motion system, and they accidentally drop some shit. What is this mustard? I don't understand what happened.
Okay. So
I watched this twice.
Okay.
I don't totally understand what happened in this scene.
So Michelangelo has been seen throughout this whole episode eating bananas because he's inspired by Silver.
Inspired by
so he's making
Silver.
banana splits and stuff. And at some point he goes to the like when he's like, I think it's like the second time he's trying to explain to everybody that he's not crazy and that like he saw the ape and so he's making a banana split and he grabs a thing of mustard right here. Yeah, you can see it right there. And he puts the mustard on that. And I know it, well, he even says he sounds nuts. But that is I think where this is coming from, because he's carrying that with him still. Like he's got the bananas and the mustard, and that's a banana with mustard on it. And he just globs a ton of it on there. And yeah, that's just what he's doing as they're breaking into the temporary Fort Knox.
Okay. That's about as stupid as I thought it would be. So they think it's going to ruin the whole thing, but it doesn't, because Donnie's system has been overridden by a more sophisticated system.
Yeah.
Which is Silver's. Counter detection system, which is kind of wild.
Oh yeah.
So when they get inside, the turtles are all like stationed behind some reels, because there's just like reels, empty reels of shit, cable around, and they're behind it. And there's a huge vault door, and Silver does, and this is super 60s Batman.
Yeah.
Because he starts explaining like, yeah, well, if they think they're so smart with the, pressurized, because they talk about how the vault is pressurized.
Yeah.
So that you can't blow it up with explosives, I guess, because it's got internal pressure and it won't cave in from explosives. They talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently it just that system just makes it really easy to drill into.
Yeah.
Because they're going to use, I swear to God, like $26 million diamond that's on the end of this drill bit. Well, this diamond
it's on his cane. He takes it off of his cane and puts it on that drill bit. Yeah.
It is a lot of money in diamond. and he puts it on there, and he's like, and then someone gets the diamond tester, and they're like, "Oh, it's ice." Oh, and then like he's like, "Yep, told you." And then they drill in, and he says that because it has internal pressure, though, it makes it easier to drill into because it'll pop like a cherry or something. I don't know what happened. Like he was saying a lot of things.
What he does, he basically says what you said, but he's talking about how he's going to use it against them. So he puts another tube into that hole that they drill, and he blows into the tube, causing the pressure to pop open the thing. Like, that's insane.
This sequence honestly doesn't make a whole ton of sense.
Like, it doesn't make
this
any
part
sense,
of the
but
show
I
doesn't
love
make
it.
a lot of sense. Like the way it's cut together. I watched it twice.
Today.
The way twice today. I literally did 2 today. You know what I'm saying? Like I did 2 today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
text
me if you want your episode to watch. You know what I'm saying? They haven't said anything about it lately. You know what I mean? But,
right.
But man, throw back to that old thing.
Oh, I love it.
So yeah, the editing and the audio editing and the way it's done is really weird. So yes. So all you need to know is this is very important for later. Him blowing into the vault causes exactly 1 rivet to come popping out of the vault at like Killaman speed.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It hits the reel that the turtles and Venus are crouched behind with enough power to break one of the boards of the reel.
Yeah.
Which is Killaman strong.
Yeah.
This causes Venus to like, I guess, get scared or something and jump out of the way of it. And she happens to jump like out into the open. Fine. Except she's spotted.
Yeah.
And Raph's and they play this thing up, and I don't know if this felt a little bit like this felt a little bit like a Kimberly and Tommy situation where like Raph's like, Venus, no.
Yeah.
Venus. And Leo's like, Raph, we have to pick our right time for that. Raph, don't do it. He's like, oh, but I care so much about her. It's like the vibe of it. Like, oh, that knucklehead, but I love her. Like that's how it feels.
It does. It totally
And I'm
does.
like, I hope they're not setting up some old ass like we're not ever going to do anything, but we like each other shit.
Will they? Won't
that
they?
Just be?
Yeah.
I can't. Not on this show with it. I can barely will they won't they. I'll be honest with you. Like Jim and Pam, I'm over it.
I like that a little bit more. That kind of worked a little bit better. But like it
did.
The Tommy and Kimberly thing. I mean, yeah, they do kiss and they do date and stuff, but still,
sure.
But
there's a period. What I didn't like was like the period before it.
Oh yeah, no,
leading up to it's not like fully like laid out, and it's kind of there. And I'll just be straight up honest. This is true confessions. I'm laying on the therapist couch.
Oh dang. I'm all ears.
I had a hard time with that when I watched that show when I was like in like 5th grade because I didn't want anyone to date Kimberly
except for you.
Except for me.
I get it.
It's just true.
Yeah.
No, I had to like. So you want to talk about cognitive dissonance from a kid in the 90s, dude? From like a kid who's just maybe getting a touch of the hormones, just starting 5th, 6th grade, just starting. Imagine the cognitive dissonance of being a boy in that time.
Yeah.
And someone as badass as Tommy, the Green Ranger.
Yeah.
Okay. Imagine he's so awesome, but I hate him.
Oh, of course.
Because he's messing with Kimberly. You know what I'm saying?
Imagine.
There's no wonder. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had so much social anxiety. You know what I'm saying? Like, this will they won't they was destroying me.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm probably scarred by that.
I think everyone was scarred by that because you see that they showed you on purpose him doing those 3 roundhouse or jump kicks, like wow, every intro to let you know that you're never gonna be JDF cool. Like
you'll never be JDF.
No,
JDF is the guy your girl told you not to worry about.
Precisely.
JDF.
Yes.
But JDF also wants to be your best friend.
That is true.
So you don't know, like you get all like, oh, but I have like I want to have camaraderie.
Right.
And I'm also like a boy trying to ninja kick like my sister in the face and shit, like in my real life. So like I feel like we have a lot in common. At the same time, like nobody should date Kimberly. Because
everyone should.
If nobody does, then everybody's safe.
It's true.
But if someone starts dating her, then everyone gets their feelings hurt.
Exactly.
You
can't win. Yeah. Dangerous games.
Wow.
Deep thoughts.
And you say that kind of stuff now, and now you're toxic. You know what I'm saying? But
Oh,
then
of
it was
course.
okay.
See, I felt all that same
Back
way.
in my day, you could say a woman couldn't date anyone because she was too hot. Back in my day.
See, I felt that
I'd be
same
like,
way.
think about this man's feelings before you go dating somebody.
Oh, of course. Yeah, come on. Can be considerate. No, I felt I felt the same way about Venus.
No, you didn't.
I did not. I did not. I like her though. I respect her.
Never took you for a furry.
Oh, well.
So
you never know.
So no, I do take you as a furry. If you want to be honest with it.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's give that.
We're gonna give that some room. Let that breathe a little bit.
Just let that one just gap out. Just a nice little. All right. We said that the episodes we record without being live are weird. This is getting weird.
This is getting real weird.
So, yes. So this causes the rivet flies out, hits the reel instead of going straight through a turtle. Venus jumps, which would have been a. And they're like rushing him to the hospital, and like he's like Raph's like bleeding out, or Venus is bleeding out. Like they're in that Hummer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, they're still dancing, just like feeling the fuck out of it, just like
Raph's on his bike, but he's the one that got shot.
Yeah. Oh,
so he has to be on his. So he's like, oh, I'm not feeling so turtle-fied certified. He's like rolling like the bikes, but he won't ride the Hummer.
Roll. Yeah, he won't do it.
He's like Raph and bleed out. And they're like, bow, 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 bow. Anyway. So, jeez. Okay. So yeah, no one gets actually shot, but Venus damn near gets shot.
Yeah.
But she's like Farmer Greg, and she remembers to duck behind the engine block instead of just stand there like a dumbass.
Yeah.
So she gets discovered by Freddy Krueger O-Face, actually is the one that figures it out. And he handcuffs her. Yeah. And she gets handcuffed. And the turtles are like, oh man, do we come out? But then like classic, like, freaking like Silver says something like, you nincompoop. And Raph uses that as his reason to come out and start fighting, which is like, okay. Don't Tommy my shit, even though I don't care about Venus. She could date Splinter for all I give a shit. So
she could date Splinter.
Yeah,
bro.
whatever. She could date fucking Right Eye Rodriguez. I don't give a shit. So they come out, and they start fighting, and honestly, seems like Turtles done won this bitch a bit. They are playing games. Did you like how they wanted to use a cable effect to make one of those gangsters fly? So what they did was they literally had him get stuck onto a reel of cable, so that he could use a visible wire to go flying. And he says monkeys love swinging.
Yeah, that's what that was.
Like, I just love that, like, they did that because they're probably like, let's be honest, this is Saban. You're gonna see the wire anyway. We might as well just have him like hooked up to a piece of rope and like swung around, just like so it makes plausible sense why you see the wire. You know what I mean?
Well, real quick while you talk about that. So again, this is all based off of Tokusatsu, which again is like, the Godzilla type stuff from like the 60s and stuff, those kind of monster things and all that. So I've been going back through and watching all the old Ultraman seasons from the 60s, and that was part of the charm of those things, was that you could see the strings and stuff. You could tell that when the jet was taken off, like that was obviously, and it kind of endeared you to it a little bit. It was kind of like and so, but what's funny is that you and I don't know that, or people in our age when we're watching this, I don't know if we have that same respect for that kind of thing. I think we expect flawless, or not necessarily flawlessness to where we're like, so our expectations are so high, but like you said, that we saw the strings and the ropes and everything. Like, I
remember that. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I wonder when we lost that, or if people ever had that appreciation, or if that's something that we appropriate onto it, like looking back. Like, I wonder if like when
I'm sorry. I was just trying to say that I actually read an essay from someone on horror. Was it John Carpenter? Somebody. I read this thing one time where they were talking about like why they love horror movies, and it might have been Bruce Campbell. I can't remember. Either way, and it was this long thing talking about horror movies, but it was talking about how like the thing about modern horror movies is that they're actually way more scary and kind of damaging now Because back when they were a kid and they go see like The Creature from the Black Lagoon or whatever, seeing the zipper on the back of the outfit reminded you that you were watching a movie. Right?
Yeah.
And so it was easy, say, as a kid, to be scared for a minute,
Right.
but then see a wire on a plane flying into Godzilla and taking yourself out. Like there was even though you were a kid and you were super into it, maybe you didn't like actually see the wire in the front of your head, but in the back of your head you did see it.
Yeah.
And you see the fact that those are just kind of firecrackers going off in these paper buildings that, like you knew it looked like something you could do at home almost. And that kept you in a zone of like, oh, I'm watching this really cool movie.
Right.
Whereas when that got more sophisticated, you could say that the horror experience got better because there is no barrier anymore, but that it actually becomes a lot more brutal.
Yeah.
And because you don't, and younger kids get a lot more scared by those kind of movies now. Because like, say for example, like when I was a little kid, Chucky terrified me. Like I accidentally watched Child's Play. I think I've told you the story. I was like at my grandparents' house.
Yeah.
And I guess it was on cable and I was just hanging out and I was like way too young to watch it. And I was just like in their room and I just watched Child's Play on like HBO. Just
okay.
Just whatever. Terrified the shit out of me because there was never any strings.
Right.
There was no like I got out of Child's Play and was horrified.
Yeah.
There was no like gentle reminder that this is a movie, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that's definitely part of it. And the sad thing is, I think for you and I, is that we saw most of our growing up was really good.
Yeah.
Quality shit. Like maybe we would joke about seeing a wire on like an old like Bruce Lee movie, maybe, or joke about, hey, you can see the zipper on this old Godzilla outfit,
right?
But the movies we were watching now, like in our time, it's like Ghostbusters, which at the time, like, and that's not a scary movie, but parts of it can be scary for like little kids, like Ghostbusters definitely scared me when I first saw it, in parts, because it's just actually really good. And we don't have that barrier,
Yeah.
But I don't think you and I ever had it though.
I don't think so.
Is the weird thing, because I don't ever remember that feeling. But I totally like when I read that essay, I totally understood what they were saying. I'm like, oh, 100%. Like I get where you're coming from. I just don't know if I ever had that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, totally.
And consider I'm the oldest guy ever. None of y'all had it either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like we do all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, Clarence is his name. We get swung around. You know what I'm saying? And it's all good. But then Silver decides to cut this shit out because I'm losing, and I'm not a kind of guy who loses. You know what I'm saying? It's not, I don't really make a habit of losing. That's why I have $26 million. I came up from the ghettos of the Himalayas at one point.
He said that. He totally said that.
Yes.
He did.
He fought himself like in the streets of like Sicily or what, like, you know what I mean? Like that's how it's supposed to sound. Like from the streets of Sicily, I became this big mob boss, and that's kind of what he's got going on.
Right.
So he is like, enough of this. I didn't get 26 million smackaroos, and blew a little cash by getting freaking done on by some turtles.
Yeah, no.
So he sets up the classic villain either or. Right, because the guys have been loading up the gold for a minute, and they got the gold in their little truck, and they're like, "Let's go." So he's like, "Look, I'm gonna take Venus. I'm gonna handcuff her inside this vault. I'm gonna throw in a pack of dynamite that has a 2-minute timer on it.
Please note the dynamite.
Please note it. That's gonna be on the quiz later." And he's like, "I'm gonna shut the girl and this inside this, and you can work on getting her out, and that's fine, or you can catch me." And that's about the two options you're going to get. Classic.
Yep.
You can rescue the she shell.
I loved that. Rescue the she shell.
She shell is funny because that's what everyone normally says in the tongue twister. That's actually kind of funny, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, she sells seashell, and someone says like she shell. That's
right.
But here it's right to say it. But I keep wanting to say seashell because I feel like I'm saying it wrong.
Right. It does. But no, you're right.
And that's why Masters of the Universe made those weird names. Like I guarantee you there's a character called She Shell.
Oh, absolutely.
And they did that so you normalize saying it how you would say it anyway.
Exactly why they did it. Yep. It's true story.
That never happened.
Nope.
So yeah. So the thing is, like, this is kind of weird to me. I was like, okay, didn't you just break that door? Like,
yeah.
Didn't you just make a huge production out of there's one or two things going to happen?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's a little twisted. They either disabled the mechanism of the lock on the door, meaning if it shuts again, it won't unlock.
Right.
Because they broke it.
Yeah.
Like, or that thing is like your bedroom door and you just open it up because there's no locking mechanism anymore.
Yeah.
But one of those two things I think had to have happened to the vault door. I doubt it's just normal.
Yeah.
Because when that rivet pops out, the door opens like open sesame business.
Yeah.
Like, and anyway, so off the door. Yeah, off the bat, the door is a weird thing, but he does it. He throws her in there, happy exploding suckers, and he gets down in the sewer. Well, I gotta give the turtles credit for decision making, because Donnie's like, go bag the blabbermouth primate. I'll stay here and help her. And Leo looks just distraught in the background. Look at that.
He's grabbing his sword by his blade and trying to get in there.
You know what he looks like?
What does he look like?
And I'm sorry if you guys aren't on YouTube watching this. I'm sorry. You just have to go back and see this.
It's true.
You remember when those dudes cut that wrestling promo and they said the N-word?
Oh, when Booker T says it? Hogan, I'm
Booker
coming for
T.
you.
That looks like the guy behind Booker T.
Oh, my goodness.
That reacts before Booker T reacts.
Right.
Like that's what he looks like. That's what he looks like. Anyway.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so Donnie's going to stay behind, and there's a 12-digit combination, and they've got 2 minutes, and it doesn't look great.
No.
The Turtles head down to catch Silver. Guys, they just disconnect the trailer from the truck.
They just disconnect the trailer because he has him in a cart.
The trailer's got all the gold.
Because remember, he's got the four-wheeler. And so
he's got the four-wheeler.
So Silver's driving the four-wheeler with his goons in the back wagon. And Raph just goes up and just yoink, takes out the pin. And
your boy drives off none the wiser, and he never turns around. He never looks and goes, how about that gold? Never. He drives home, and then he goes, oh, foiled again. Well, now there's an explosion. And everyone fears the worst. Everyone thinks that they're just dead. But don't worry, they're fine.
They're fine.
And we learn that while Venus was taking off the handcuffs, because she could do that.
Yep.
Donnie just guessed his birthday.
Yeah.
Which at first it was funny because I was like, bullshit. That's not enough digits. Then I realized if you do the 4-digit time of your birth, 2-digit month, 2-digit day, or 2-digit day, 2-digit month, but we're going to do month day because that's
depending on where you're at.
America.
Yeah.
And the 4 full digit year, that is 12 digits.
Yeah.
And I got kind of reverse blown the fuck out. Like at first, like I'm typing these notes. I'm like, yeah, you guessed your birthday, 12-digit birthday. Yeah, sure. Yeah. 12-digit birthday. And then I was like, in my notes, I started typing, because even if you added the 4 digits from your birth time, I was like, Turtles done won this.
Turtles done won this bit.
I got blown out from 1997. Like it came back on me. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, no, you. But yeah, oddly specific. Yeah. So back in the lair, all's well. You know what I'm saying? The police have reported to the news that they believe that the Heatwave Heist gang could not possibly have survived the explosion that occurred at the bank.
Yeah.
So everybody's dead. And so that's all fine. And then Silver swears revenge on the Green Teens and says, mess with the monkey, get the horns. I can't remember what he actually says.
He says, mess with the monkey, and it gets funky. Now, one thing that confused me was that the reporter is saying that they didn't find any gold there, that it was just like yarn or threads or something. And it's like, oh, that's because it was the temporary place.
It was the temporary place. I don't think it was supposed to be like knowledge
that
it was there.
Right.
Like that sounds like that was kind of insider knowledge. And yeah, I guess I don't know. I mean, there was a huge explosion, and then the little stairs went straight down to the sewer right near the turtles' lair.
Right,
like you're telling me room. That an attempt on the U.S.'s gold reserve,
right,
which is probably like everyone's getting called in. Like,
oh yeah.
Sorry, Mike. I know that you have the birth of your baby, but and that was tomorrow.
Yeah,
and it's a scheduled C-section, so you took this. You had these days off, and you requested this time off 3 months ago.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard or not. If you've been checking your emails, or I'll just tell you on this conference call that someone fucking blew up the gold reserve. Actually, did it, and you need to come to work. You need to come to work because we're all here. Everyone's here. Biden's here. Like Biden was trying to dig out the gold, and then he took a break. And then the Power Rangers are showing up. So like everyone's at work. I'm sorry. You can bring your wife in. She can give birth out here, but you're going to be at work. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Oh,
so you're telling me with that many goddamn people that like nobody found the turtle lair?
Nobody found the turtles.
Like nobody was like.
They assumed that explosion incinerated the bodies. Not only the bodies, but the turtle costumes inside the bodies. And there is no.
No, it 100% vaporized. It was a pink mist.
Yeah.
The surface of the sun.
Yeah.
Happened to at least 4 to 8 individuals.
Right. Yeah. And you mean to tell me there's no beat cop that found one of those cops that found the ATVs that were crashed that isn't like, I got, staying up at night thinking about this thing and then realizing that, wait, there was a sewer there. Oh, you mean to tell me that's not a thing? Yeah, no.
He has a weird Sarah Palmer dream where he wakes up and like remembers that he heard. Whoosh,
oh yeah,
coming from like just around the corner. He's like,
right.
What the hell are those sounds at night?
Right.
Like that sounded like just like some Three Stooges. I need to go check this out.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I find that hard
Eric,
to believe.
What do you think about this episode, bro?
I absolutely loved it, Ryan. I think that this was one of my favorite episodes of this show. I love Silver so much. I love just, if I'm being honest, I'm a huge fan of other factions in like the Turtles universe. So I love the Foot. You have the Foot, and then you get the Krang coming in with all his people from the Dimension X, and that's cool. But they're usually tied together. But then you get the Mutanimals and all this stuff like that. I always loved that element to it. And so with He-Man, it was like you had the evil warriors, and then you have the Horde that come in, and then you have the Snake Men. But sometimes they work together, sometimes they're against each other. I've always been a huge fan of that, and to have Silver with his own gang of henchmen and stuff on top of the Dragon Lord with Bone Steel kind of thrown in there too. This is adding up to be something that is all the hallmarks of things that I love in superhero fiction. And I'm 100% here for it. I loved all the colors. I loved all the Batman vibes that they were putting off, and all of that. And just it was fun and just silly, but it's still entertaining. And I don't know. I really enjoyed it. What about you?
It was interesting. I have to knock a few points off because like I say, some of the editing and dialogue and the way that they're editing those together with like what you're seeing. The show is not great at describing things like in real space. Like, you know what I mean? How someone got somewhere, or you know what I mean? And I've really watched it with this because I wanted to see. It's funny because it's not that they break 180. They don't. So they're not doing that with the film work. But some of the way that they edit, one thing they do is they edit. They don't have a lot of shots. They don't have a lot of coverage, right? So they show you a shot, but they have dialogue and sound effects in the background to make you maybe try to convey like, okay, while we're on the shot of Mike eating this sundae, Donnie's actually pulling out his computer and then going down this hole.
Right.
Like that's what you're supposed to think, but like that's not what you really see.
Yeah.
So I'd knock a few points off because this episode felt like the closest one of the one of the first 5-part episodes, I think it was a lot in like the Dragon Lord's Lair did this. We're like, things were happening, but it was cut bad, and I'm like, what happened? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what happened. A few points off for that, but on the whole, I think that Silver's a really cool villain. Like I said, I was really kind of blown away by his attitude.
Yeah,
that he's very much not like every other villain, like blasted turtles. You know, like it's not really like that. And he doesn't overreact, and he has like here's an interesting thing about him. I do like that he somehow convinced like, you know, hardened criminals to wear Dick Tracy suits. I think that's
90s,
in the 90s. That really like opens up a lot. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta be 100, man. If my boss is making us $26 million in a week, that means smackaroos in a week. I'm like,
I'll wear whatever you want me to wear.
I'll wear a teddy. I don't give a shit.
I'll wear a monkey suit.
I'll wear whatever. I'll
wear a teddy. You wear a teddy.
You wear a monkey suit. Oh my god! I'll be your dad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
For 26 million.
26 million is getting pretty close to moon money.
That's really close to moon money. That's like, that's really close to moon money. So so I liked it, and it's so funny how a little bit of a lamer or more lame previous episode makes you value the next episode more if it hits. It seems like it gets like a boost off of the previous episode being not like the best.
It's like a double jump.
It is like a double jump, bro. Bro, it's like getting popcorn on the trampoline. You know what I'm saying? It's like a whoa, shit, whoa. What happened there? So no, I liked it a lot. I'm curious to see what else it's gonna do. This was one of the characters also that was in the that is cut into the intro of the show. As well. In the montage. So like I really wanted to see who this was.
Right.
So the minute he walked out from that dark place he walked out from,
crash that happened.
Also, one last thing I'll say is and it's about Silver again, surprise. Is that I like Silver's non-mutant origin a lot.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm a guy, you know, I'm the kind of guy, y'all been on this journey with us too. How many times have we seen the origins? You know what I mean? And it's always some mutant accident or someone's exposed to a death ray or some shit. I don't know. I am a gigantic fan. And TMNT Adventures did this a ton with their origins, where they're just them.
Yeah. This is how
like,
this world we live in.
Like you literally like Alfalfa and all those characters they met in their big journey around the world.
Yeah.
The Yeti they met, Ninjara, being just from an actual like almost very Wonder Woman origin of like an island, a mysterious island full of these fox people. I think that's cool as hell. So when you have an origin that's like, no man, I am this.
Yeah.
That's cool to me because it actually contrasts with the Turtles even more now.
It does.
Because while Silver is an ape and he's trying to live in a human's world, you know what I'm saying? He has his problems because he's an ape. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But he is always what he was. Right?
Yeah.
The Turtles are not. And that's a big thing that I think when you write characters in the TMNT universe really well, you do a good job of contrasting them with what the Turtles are, right? And sometimes they have strengths where the Turtles have weaknesses. And being Ninjara makes a really great her opening kind of monologue kind of against Raphael actually, which winds up being her boyfriend. Spoiler. You know, I guess if I was young, I probably would have had a problem with Ninjara and Raph too. You know, I'd be like, I can't. You know what I'm saying?
Can't
like,
lie.
But she basically says like, don't call me a mutant. Like almost like she has disgust for mutants.
Yeah.
Like she is a anthropomorphic natural being supremacist. Like she looks as down on the Turtles in that comic for being mutants as like humans would. Right.
Yeah.
And so when you have a villain or another character in TMNT that has a natural origin, it does a great job of contrasting with the Turtles.
It does.
Because, you know what I mean? Well, they don't talk about their origin stories and they're not, you know, fighting and saying, yeah, well, I'm a mutant. Yeah, well, I'm not. It's really there. So I love the fact that he has it, as silly as it is. He has an origin story of being not only the last of his kind, which is another really intriguing thing that you can do with a character, but he also has the origin of saying, like, I was the best of my kind.
Right.
Like,
and that's why I'm the last. Yeah.
The last. I like, they've hunted us to extinction. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the last, but I'm the shit. That's really cool.
That is.
So high marks on Silver in general, like on the page, he's an excellent villain.
Yes.
And last thing I'll say too is another great mark of a villain is that in the TMNT universe is that they can knock the turtles down a peg or two.
Yeah. Yeah. He didn't break a sweat. Like, he didn't run or anything. He just, like, threw in some one-liners and also, then
huge marks up for the fact that Silver never fights. That is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
So smart. Because you could have been like, oh yeah, you think you're bad? Well, fight me. I'm the gang boss. And he starts beating people's ass. That could
see. Oh, absolutely.
Poor writing would easily do that because that's the next escalation, right?
But what I love about it,
mobsters now fight the mob boss. Like, that's very easy to fall into.
But what I love about it and what's genius about it is that he's going to be very cunning. He's going to use stuff around him to at his advantage. Like, obviously, like, he used the money tube, and then he grabbed Venus and used her as leverage. The thing is that I like to think that if he gets into, like, a fisticuffs kind of situation, he's going to just go ahead and not necessarily surrender, but he's going to not aggressively do anything, because then guess what that does? That makes the other guy, or the turtles, essentially be like almost have to act villainous if they're going to attack this person who's not fighting 100%. Back. And that's genius.
He's the mob boss that gets arrested at the Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
And is making jokes the whole time.
Right.
That's who he is. That's very important for that kind of character. He's like, geesh, with the wrists, am I right? Like, come on, fellas. Like, he's that guy.
Yeah.
And that's such an iconic thing for a mob boss to do, is you finally get him. Now, you're going to pay for it.
Yeah, of course.
You know that on the back end, for arresting him, embarrassing him in public, you're going to pay a price.
Right.
He's going to make, but it won't be him doing it.
No.
Like, because he's untouchable.
Yes.
Right? Like, he's got that feeling. So as ridiculous as it is to have a, Cornelius from Planet of the Apes come out old as hell, dressed in full mob gear.
Like, what's he been doing since then? Like, what's he been doing this whole time? Like, where's he been?
Like, as ridiculous as that is on the page and on the screen.
Yeah.
Like, they really committed to the characters, like, being a mob boss, and I really like it.
Oh,
I like the fact that he is the guy. Like, you almost imagine he's, that vacuum that he turns into a blower, cash money blower.
Yeah.
That's like his Tommy gun, right?
Oh,
that's him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just really good. So I'll stop there. But I appreciate the commitment to the character. I appreciate the origin of him having an actual, like, animal origin. And I really appreciate, how they really stuck to the mob boss thing with him the whole time.
Yeah.
Never really let off, and I think that's great. I really like the character, and I hope that we do see more of him. I obviously say my expectation is low because
we're used to it. Exactly. Well, what did y'all think? Let us know in the comments or email us turtlesoupshow@gmail.com. You can find all of our episodes up on turtlesoupshow.com if you want to get caught up and listen to the journey of the TMNT and kind of get an understanding as to why we feel the way we feel about the things we feel. And you can do that there. You can also find us on, Instagram, Turtle Soup Show with the underscores between each word. And then we're here on YouTube at least once a month. On Thursday nights, usually, talking about the Ninja Turtles. And we try to do a little bit more than that, but, life happens. So, there's that.
The every other week episode Prime should be able to come back.
It should be able to. Yes.
Gird your loins for the fact that we may not be here.
Gird them. Ooh. Well,
heard yes. That phrase? I don't use it enough. Yeah. I don't think we use it enough. No, gird your loins is a thing. And I'm like, that's such an intense phrase.
It is, but it sounds like someone's making fun of somebody who can't say guard right. like guard your loins, like gird your
Like
loins,
Ermagerd?
like gird your loins. Yeah. So, well, let us know how you say gird.
Yeah.
Let us know, turtlesoupshow@gmail.com. And then if you want to join all the fun,
You know what I'm saying? Let us know.
yeah, let us know. And if you want to join all the fun, you can find us on Facebook. We have a Facebook group, tons of cool people in there, and lots of turtle news gets discussed there. So that's really fun. And then if you want to throw some pennies our way and help the show keep going and not say clang and all that fun stuff, go to patreon.com. Find me done and making some stuff. Let me see if do I have it here still? Nope, I threw it away. But oh my goodness, Krang has appeared. Jesus, I was not expecting to come back and see him. So that's for the post game. But yeah, so Patreon, thank you so much to all our patrons that have been supporting us. Patron Ranger, we really love you guys a lot, and those packages should be going out pretty soon now that I just got the shirts in. And yeah, but if you want to join that, patreon.com, and throw some pennies our way, we really appreciate it. And yeah, we'll be back next time with more Next Mutation. And until then, else time. Ooh, goodness.
So hear me out about cow catchers, but like for your office chair legs.
Okay.
Like for like the wheels, right? Because like so your office chair, you got your like 5, sometimes 6 like legs coming out with the wheels, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the problem is if you're using corded headphones, You know what I'm saying? Like you run over your cables all the time.
Yeah.
Like, and it's annoying. And it gets like you run over it and it's just trapped under there or it gets between the wheels and you're like, I'm just chewing up these cables. That's annoying.
Yeah.
Hear me out about a cat catcher or a cow catcher that goes around the tip of the extension where the leg is, and it goes right down to the ground. So it'll push the cables around, but won't run over the cables.
Interesting.
Because it's this like wall of plastic, like this guard pushes the cables over the floor instead of the wheel getting on and running over them.
I like it. We probably shouldn't be talking about this on the show though, because we gotta keep it to where we can get some money off of this thing.
Facts.
Yeah. So, but that's a good idea.
Hat.
Oh,
ever fit in that hat.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, here, let me try it without the headphones.
Is that all the way? Like, does that hurt your head?
Like that's the best I can do.
It's a snapback.
Yeah, and it's on the last rung.
Is that 2012? Like I can't see the turtles.
Yeah, it's 2012. Got
it. I love the look of the hat.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
The faces are unique. They're pretty good. The different kind of like Jay inspired kind of like faces they make. Like I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
The NYC on that. Oh, and that bill.
Oh yeah.
That visor.
Yeah.
How's that under visor though? What
green.
You got under? Like that.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
That's a hot under visor on that.
It's pretty funny because like he told us that he said that his he's like, there's something in here for everybody in the package that he sent us, and the hat was for me, and then he put some plants in there, so there's dirt everywhere, and he gave us 3 little cat like ceramic pots with cats on them for the 3 cats we got, and yeah, it was cute, but yeah.
John was saying that he wants to cut the front of that hat off and put it on a nice fitted hat. That sounds like an awesome idea.
Yeah. To cannibalize it, I guess. Just.
I mean, why not?
Why not?
You're not going to wear it.
No.
So, like, they get into. They look good.
Yeah.
You can cut it and do a little of that trucker style shit where, like, it's kind of tattered a little bit, right? And then you stitch it on to the front of a new era hat. But dude, that'd be like your favorite hat ever.
But it's interesting that it just says turtles. Like it doesn't say.
Is it licensed?
It doesn't say Ninja Turtles. Yeah, no, it's
inside. Is the Viacom?
It's I don't know if it'll zoom in and see it, but it's Nickelodeon. It's got the Nickelodeon branding. Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. So I'm happy about that.
Hat surgery.
Hat surgery. Jeez. Yeah. Oh well. I wanted to bring this up. So, you can buy
just a new era fitted black hat, just black
hat,
and then put that on the front,
and just throw it on there. There you go. Dang. Who
knew? There's no.
The hat.
We're gonna get you a fitted hat. You don't even understand how amazing a fitted hat is. You just don't even like.
I wouldn't know
understand. At all. It's your favorite pair of underwear. It's like that all the time on your head.
Oh, yes, excellent.
You know what I'm talking about? Your favorite pair of underwear, the ones that grip boys just right, the ones that hold tight, the ones that let you breathe,
the ones with the cow
They're
catcher.
Not saggy. They're not too tight, but they're perfect on you. You feel like you're like a superhero when you wear them. You feel like you got Superman's trunks on. You know what I'm saying? That pair.
Yeah,
it's like that all the time, reliably on your head all the time.
Yeah, with the tag that says Haynes her way on it, right?
Oh my God, John Clem's already starting the episode titles up.
Yeah,
I don't care. What I'm saying.
I don't even care what
Splitter
Oh, so I wanted to tell you, my wife and I, we watch this channel that's Weird History, and they do food stuff too, and we watch a lot of that. And they did a history, little rundown on Hamburger Helper, and I learned a couple things. One, there's 3 things I learned. So one, the hamburger has 2 names. The helper has 2 names. That originally the helping hand, and then they started calling him Lefty. So I thought you would appreciate that. And then
I always have actually, and I did notice and appreciate that the hamburger helper hand is left-handed.
Yeah. So
appreciated that.
So their original slogan for this, Ryan, get this. This is some stuff that you and I would have done. I'm going to try to get this right. Hamburger helper helps her hamburger help her.
That's amazing. That's some like pin and tell her shit is what that is.
That's exactly right. Preston's in the chat saying to tell you the slogan, because we watched it right before band practice, and so I went to band practice with that knowledge that I had to share. Hamburger helper helps her hamburger help her.
Helps her hamburger help her.
It's so good. It's so good.
You make me want to die. I want to fucking puke.
I want to spit.
I want to spit.
Yeah. Goodness.
You know what's weird about the helping hand or whatever, Hamburger Herbert, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird about him.
Huh?
Is like, you ever seen the back of him?
No, not really.
Like, does he have like a little butt?
I don't know. That's the thing. Is the palm his face?
The palm is, well, if he's a left hand, right, the palm is his face,
right. And what's his downstairs mixed up? How do we know it's a him?
The other way, bro. What
like
what if like it was like some 90s shit? You know what I mean? You were like there's like a news story where it's like, oh, upcoming hamburger helper commercial finally shows the back of Hamburger Herbert or whatever his name is. Like, because you know they used to do that shit in the 90s?
Yeah.
Where it'd be like, oh, Ally McBeal's going to have the naked baby on. And you're like,
oh, yeah.
What? Like, that used to be a thing.
Yeah. Goodness.
You know? And what if he turned around, boy, and your boy was Calipage?
Just
like,
Calipage.
What if that was?
You could bounce a quarter off of it.
He's like, oh, let me help you over here. And he's right, and like your boy's got a dump truck back there.
Oh, just bang. Just banging. Man. His hamburger would help me. Help
your hamburger help you.
Yeah. Hamburger
help Eric Pin and tell her.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So we got some more stuff in the chat. Let's see.
We do.
Great Apex Station. Okay, expectations by Apex. Oh, I can't even say that, John.
Hold on. No, I had it in my head when I saw it. I said it in my head, but now I can't. Great ape expectations. Apectations.
You're putting another P in there.
I am, but I think that I'm right.
It's
great ape expectations is what it probably would be.
Yes.
Apes. You got me.
Yeah. John again with the funky monkey flings money. Oh, deleted Dick Tracy Drex.
Not all right. All right. Himalaya, more like Himalaya.
Oh, that's great. I don't.
Is him slaying out here?
Jake, I don't think he does get tickled, but you would think he would though. It seems natural, like you would tickle. Like, Jake, do you try to get your cat's like fluff like on the belly? Because like my wife Shannon always does, and it feels like compulsive. Like that's what cat people do, I guess. And I'm just a recent cat convert, so I don't really have that inclination necessarily. But I wonder if it's a similar thing with weird doughy food helpers. Like I wonder if that's a thing that's just a phenomenon. I don't know, but yeah. Ape expectations. Okay, he fixed it. Ape expectations. There we go. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The only one that we chatted before we came on that we just like, hey, you got anything? Oh, I got this. Let's see. Was so I blew a little cash. Like that's literally all we had.
Yeah.
Like and please note the dynamite or whatever.
Oh yeah, I wrote that down. But yeah. But
yeah, all we had.
Great Apex expectations.
Ape expectations.
Good.
Great Ape expectations is pretty damn good.
Oh my goodness. I had kind of already written it off, John, and then you put the extra P in there. and that
So I blew a little cash.
But So I Blew a Little Cash is pretty good too,
though. Well, all right. So the strength of So I Blew a Little Cash is like the thumbnail for this episode becomes
That's true.
legendary.
That's true.
Cause that face, dude, like I'm killing that. Been a hot minute since I named an ep. That's true. It's true. No, we've been kind of like honestly getting high on our own supply lately.
Yeah.
For some reason, the ones we've come up with have been really good. But Great Expectations is real.
It's tough.
I don't think I can argue. I mean that's really damn good.
I think John summoned the sword from the Zordon from the Zords, and he got that, and he done won this bitch.
Grape, yeah, because I want to say Grape Expectations, because if it was had to do with Grape Ape, that'd be like the best name anyone could ever made.
Oh,
it's like when you call that was lettuce, and that was just the end of it. That was one of the funniest things. I had a few names, and they were really, really good.
Yeah,
for those guys, you remember, like it was like his whole like group of dudes.
Yeah, I forget them all, but yeah, I did. I remember once you said it that was that.
Oh no, one was like C3PO because he looked like C3PO. That was one of them. That would make me laugh. So I can't remember which one of us came up with that, but I was dying about that one.
Oh,
there was Devil's Lettuce.
Yeah. They were horrible, like designs though. They were just god awful.
They were.
But I keep going back to.
We're at our best. We're at our worst.
I keep going back to Skull Dick Punisher.
Dude, Skull Dick
from Adventures. Oh yeah, Skull Dick Punisher. That's it.
There was an era where I was just naming everyone a thing, and it was just what they looked like, and like it was cracking me up.
Yeah,
because you have to like rush it. You have to like rush right through it. So what you say makes so like that was like the guy today, like Freddy Krueger O-Face. Like that's just the first thing I thought of, and that's just his name. Like you have to really off hit it because that's how it's the most ridiculous.
Oh yeah. Jake in the chat saying podcast 3.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
That was excellent. Podcast 3 because movie 3.
Podcast 3 was really good. The whole 3 bit of the actor not wanting to say he worked with TMNT 3. Yeah, no, like well, I love my favorite part about movie 3 is that just came off of what that like the toys, right? They kept calling it movie 3.
I think so.
And I love how we just backdated it to like movie 2 and movie 1, even though like that's what we call them now.
Yeah,
like sometimes I'll call TMNT 90. I'll say the 1990 movie.
Yeah,
if it's like a real conversation where like I'm thinking, oh, this might get clipped or something, and someone won't know what I'm talking about. Movie 1, what the hell that is?
Yeah,
but all that shit, movie 1, movie 2, and movie 3 are my favorite thing.
That is so good.
Like, dude, tomorrow you might die is like one of the funniest eras of this show.
That's one that gets me. That Tomorrow You Might Die. That got me. I always Colonel Booter. That stays in my. That lives rent free just forever. Just old Colonel Booter. Huh?
I need to go back and re-listen to the original old Colonel Booter episode.
Yeah, it's pretty good. There's
was us up at 4 a.m, and it was just like not great.
Oh, we were wild out.
At the time, it was funny as hell. At the time, it also had a vibe of like, but now I'm gonna die.
Oh,
like we were always on the edge of like dying. Like it was like 3 or 4 a.m, dude. You got Eric like nodding off as like I'm reading a comic. And Eric's reading a comic, and I'm like staring at the ground like in a trance.
Yeah.
But somehow,
and
we also made good content. I don't know how we did that.
So two things I've noticed going back and listening to the old episodes. Well, one, I didn't realize, like you just said, I didn't realize that we were giving y'all like the fumes. Like that was all we had. Like that's
all we had.
And I didn't realize that that's what we were doing. But it was essentially that. Like that's the tail end of all of our everything we got. Because after that, we're going to bed. But then the other thing was that oh my goodness, did I just lose my train of thought? No. We used to be like really quick on those early reviews, like for season 2 and 3, like the first part of season 3. Like we were like done, like killing them, and then all of a sudden we get into something where we just like it just becomes a slugfest, a savage dragon, if you will, and that is
the
weird.
animated series.
Yeah, and we got into this rut where we couldn't we weren't very.
You and I had No, you and I had like probably our most like argumentative conversation
Yeah.
during like about the show. I think around that time,
Yeah.
if I recall, because I wanted to like spice. I wanted to get through it. I
Yeah.
was tired of it. I was like, dude, I want to do 4 episodes an episode. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care how much work it is. Like, because I got to be out of here. And you're like, nope, just do the 2. We'll just, every week the same thing. And I was like, no. And you're like, well, you don't want to change the format. I'm like, look, I'm the defender of the format. And I'm saying we should change the format. And we got I think we did try that a couple times and whatever. But I remember you and I having like on that front porch once again, no, this is 5 a.m.
Oh,
You know what
of
I'm saying?
course. Yeah.
Having a real conversation.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
not a like, hey man, if you want to do that, having like Eric, fucking listen to me. Like that conversation outside at 5 a.m, which your neighbors had to love that.
Oh, of course.
Like your neighbors had to love, like, well, I live in Plant City, so I get up at 4 a.m. to go to work on a Saturday. And there's us.
And there's just 2 dudes out there arguing about Ninja Turtles. Yeah.
Like, better put on my damn mud cover boots and go to work again at 4 a.m. for my family. My hands look like this, so hers can look like that, and all this shit. And then me and you out there like, no, Eric, listen about the podcast. And you're like, listen, man, I'm just saying, man. You just said that last week, man. Like, you're gonna contradict yourself, man. And what the hell did they think about us, man?
Yeah,
like
I have no idea. Yeah,
what do they think about our crazy shit?
it's kind of like
no idea.
It's kind of like so our neighbors now, because back then we had the guy that was like that came in with the microphone that wanted us to test that out, and then he brought us over that Flash comic because he's like, here, thanks for doing that.
Yeah, I remember that.
So he moved, and we got the Spanish family that lives over there, and they're pretty nice for the amount of interactions we have with them. But they rent out the little shed that's like maybe 6 feet from my living room.
It's just over your property line.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And so and there's a lot of like yelling and screaming and like being like,
wait, people live in that thing?
Oh yeah. And they're
thought it was like just a garage.
No.
There's a little like room in there, a place to live in there.
It's pretty big. It's like a 2-car size
Eric,
thing.
Are you sure? Like they're not just living in a garage?
They might just be living in a garage. Nevertheless, there are people living there. So I don't know. All I know is that we're hearing all kinds of yelling. So and it smells like the devil's lettuce is over there too.
Sure.
Still which is fine.
Yeah.
But
let me tell you something. If I lived in a dead ass 2-car garage with no insulation, it was just like, this is my shit.
Yeah.
If I lived in that shit, it'd be devil's lettuce all day. Dude. Yeah. I would just be in like a haze. It'd be like like that moment in Apocalypse Now when they finally make it to that dude. You know what I'm saying? And there's that steam. I'd be in the mirror like,
yeah.
That's what you'd see with me, dude. It'd be bad. That'd be Marlon Brando bald as hell, like in the mist, son.
Right.
If I lived to live in a damn garage out here in Florida.
Yes. Oh yeah. Well, the funny thing is that I can hear them yelling, so they have to be able to hear me yelling at Cheeto all the time. So they're hearing me get mad at my cat, not like mad like I'm beating him or anything, but like I'm yelling at him like, "Don't do that, Cheeto!" and like saying all this stuff, and it's like, they're like talking about, "Why don't you love me? What do I got to do?" And I'm sitting here yelling at a cat.
What do I gotta do? Listen, goddamn it, Darla, why don't you love me?
Right.
So no, imagine how much of a privilege like slap in the face that is. Imagine, okay, so we'll set the scene.
Okay.
You live in a goddamn 2-car garage that was built in like 1950. Okay, that happened.
Yeah.
This guy from a podcast thought that like, well, I mean, wait, so there's rooms in there? And Eric goes, no, probably not rooms. It's probably just a garage. But they rented. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
You're fighting all the time with your lady or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You got the devil's lettuce because, I mean, who wouldn't?
Who would?
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes things boil over. You know what I mean? You start yelling. Things start happening. Hey, I mean, look, things are rough. I'm not necessarily thinking about the guy next door, double income, no kids over there. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, you're done yelling at your wife. You guys have hit each other and shit. Then you go lay down, try to snuggle up or whatever, and you hear you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In your air-conditioned house, Dink Life, going, Cheeto, Cheeto, stop being so fucking cute.
Right.
And you're laying there going,
that's exactly what I'm yelling. And the other thing is that we think that they're the people that had Cheeto beforehand, like that they just didn't care about him. They just had him.
Oh, that's right. Because you
yeah,
scooped him up.
yeah, because he kept coming over to the house, and then they didn't say nothing, and then finally, once we got him neutered and everything, they're like, "Oh, hey, that's our girl cat Athena." I was like, "No, this cat had some balls on him, so much so that I had to ask the vet, like, what do y'all do with those things? Because goodness." And there's no way that you could mistake that for a girl cat. And
These are cat truck nuts.
Cat truck nuts. Oh, we got to get out of here.
Creeps.
So
imagine hanging fake nuts on your animal that was never even male.
Never even male. Yeah, no, just totally gendering it.
And I think at first you'd be tempted to think, oh, like, well, they're the fur, the same color as the animal. It's like, no, they're brass.
Yeah, they're brass. Yeah,
like
no, like just, yeah,
but they're animal nuts, and you hate them.
Right. But it totally changes the cat's personality. Like he starts being like very brazen, like just being like,
oh no, when he's got his truck nuts on,
because he's got his brass balls on.
Brass balls, dude.
Brass balls, like nothing.
Definitely gonna come in your room and go, and then go into bed. But on the way there, he's gonna grab his junk.
Oh, of course.
He's gonna go on that junk and then go into your bed.
Oh yeah, have to.
We have to leave this episode. We have to leave. We have to go.
All right. So what do you want to do? Do you want to do?
It's great expectations.
It is. It has to be. It's so good. Okay, so do you want to do it? You want to call it?
Yeah, I'll do the great expectations. I just need a second. Great expectations. It's a tongue twister.
It is.
Great expectations.
Trio
right,
8.
Trio hate. This isn't 308.
Is it not? Is it 307?
Yep.
Oh, my numbers are all messed up. Oh, you might be
wrong episode last week, but whatever.
Did I? Yeah. Oh goodness. So,
should it say 307?
Yeah.
I got it. Hold on.
Even my own
website, the home of the internet, real fast, is 307.
Yeah. Okay, I did it right. I just wrote it down wrong.
306.
Yeah. What's confusing me is that we did episode 8 on 307, so that's what's throwing me off.
We're gonna be one episode ahead of our in number, and it's just annoying. And there is no month day that can fix that.
Yeah, no.
Day month, and you're just done. Great expectations. You got any? Can
you do it like? Can you do like Goofy?
Yeah. Ice direction. What? Great expectations. Like me, bitch.
You got to get the character.
Whoever wrote that, whoever recorded that is so important.
Just
honestly, like
a hero of our time.
It's just too important. Like
yuck.
Yuck.
No, that's what my neighbors hear. That's what they keep hearing because I keep doing that voice, and Shannon hates it. Shannon, my wife, she hates it, and so Cheeto, make me bitch. Yeah,
like me. No, that's. I laughed so fucking hard. Like when I first saw that video, it was like dude, when you spend the night at the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, dude, and I lost my shit. I heard like, and he like, come here, open that door. It's like, make me, bitch. I died.
Yeah.
That girl that I was talking about on Instagram, that's 31 and can do whatever she wants.
Yeah.
She has "Make Me Bitch" like on her soundboard.
Yeah, you were telling me about that. But that's awesome.
Machine, so she just hits it. Make me, bitch. I'm like, that's just too good. I love it.
It's excellent.
She had a reel today that was just a comment someone made about like, because she also like wears different like outfits and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, all these female drummers, selling their body instead of their drum playing or whatever like that. And she said like, because of that, no drums, only dancing. And she was just dancing the whole stream. I'm like, that's brilliant.
Goodness.
You don't get drums if you act like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, dang, M's here from the top. Dang.
Oh, no way, from the top?
From the top. Turtle Soup episode.
Hey, guys, this is Turtle Soup.
Hey, what's up? Ryan. It's your boy Easy. And Two Cam Sam over here. Here we go. All right, so tonight we're doing episode 8, Grape Expectations.
Great expectations. And you want me to say it like Goofy?
I want you to say it like Goofy, yeah. Did I get the
Great expectations. Great bitch. Great expectations. Okay, so let's see. So go through a tongue twister in another accent.
Yeah.
Go through a tongue twister in another accent and enunciate. Got it.
Okay.
Not a problem.
Not a problem. We're professionals. All right. Turtle Soup episode 300H.
Great expectations, bitch.
That was pretty good.
I know the B word can't stay on there.
Yeah,
I'll do it again.
Yeah, B word's got.
I had to run it in line to make sure like I had the accent as right as I can get it.
You nailed it pretty good. Yeah. So just pretend like you're Booker T and just go, cover the bitch up.
That sounds like a biatch.
Yeah.
If I said biatch, make me biatch.
Yeah, I think that works.
No, the bitch doesn't need to be on there.
It doesn't need to be.
Part of the original phrase.
Right.
Great expectations. Great bitch. Great. Make me.
like, what are your kids thinking? Like with you saying
my whole family. John just said, "Imagine trying to explain this part of Turtle Soup to a normal person."
Oh, 100%. Yeah. No, that's kind of what I was getting at.
And Turtle Soup's in the backseat, like, screaming. My kids and wife are all in the living room that is on the other side of this wall.
Yeah.
They're carrying on. I can hear them all talking and carrying on. I don't think they give a shit about what I'm doing. They've heard weirder. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, certainly.
And said my kid just asked what the fuck I'm listening to. Are these guys adults, Dad, or are they like you?
Oh my goodness.
Both, bitch. My kid just, oh my God.
Oh.
Watching two mentally ill dudes yell at Jewish for each other.
Yes, 100%. Thank you. This is a support group. Is what this has been the whole time, y'all.
Daddy, this is some of Daddy's medicine. Leave me alone.
Yeah, especially if we start. I'll save it until after we get done. So Turtle Soup.
Sorry, go ahead.
Turtle Soup episode 300H.
Great expectations.
That was really good.
Great. Try another one. I'll try some more without the intro. Great expectations. Great expectations. Great expectations. Right.
Oh my God.
Expectations.
Oh goodness. Okay. Oh my goodness.
You're missing that combo. Em and John, we could run that devil's either Daddy's lettuce or devil's medicine, one of the two.
Oh my goodness.
Listen, I dropped a fruit tart.
What does that mean? Oh my Lord.
Maybe from laughing? I don't know what else. Sometimes M says things I think are too cool for me.
He
says something and I go, did you literally do that? And he's like, oh, that's lingo for this other thing. I'm like, oh.
Right. Yeah, just too cool. But I'm glad that he keeps us around, and I appreciate that.
Your kid did not say bury your tart at Wounded Knee.
No.
Your kid didn't say that. Drop that shit. See, this is where M says this happened. And I go, oh, really? He goes, no, we don't actually talk about that because that's fucked up. And I'm like,
yep, got him.
A retraction for Barry myself.
Oh goodness.
Bury your tart. If your kid, dude, the other day, I got home and Alicia was here working on her book stuff, and we're talking, and she's telling me about her day, and then she starts like busting out laughing, like just can't stop laughing. It's like August did this thing, and she can't get it out. You know, so I'm just waiting for all this to stop, but she's laughing like we thought her dad forgot her shoes. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my
Like
God. Yes.
she can't stop.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, all right, like, like what? And she finally calms down enough. And I'll not do the impression. I'll tell you what happened. Apparently, she's sitting there working, and August is playing a video game. He lifts his leg, does the littlest, driest little toot. They go boop.
Yeah.
And then goes, and then goes toodaloo.